Game 2 is going to be played this evening at 6:35 as the Orioles and the Blue Jays match up in Games 2 and 3 of the series. Yesterday, a huge win for the Orioles. They collected an 11-4 victory, and it was the offense which produced 11 runs on 16 hits. Orioles get 4 home runs in the game. In his return, Adley Rutschman has a 3-hit effort, while the Orioles had everybody except for Jackson Holliday either reach base or collect a hit, with the Orioles knocking Chris Bassett out after 2 1/3 innings. In Game 1 of our doubleheader, it's the right-hander Charlie Morton on the mound, and Easton Lucas, the former Orioles minor leaguer, is going to start opposite him for Toronto. Coming up on the pregame show, in a little while, we're going to hear from Caleb Joseph, Orioles catcher and current broadcaster for the Blue Jays. Lots to come, though, as we get you set for baseball here between the Orioles and Toronto on the Orioles Radio Network.
New Jersey's got a lot of summer wow. We got your under the sun wows. Your this is too much fun wows. Your that wine was sublime wows. And your one more time wows. So come see what your wow's gonna be. New Jersey, it's one summer wow after another after another. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Does your business fleet need help with their fueling needs? The Carroll Fuel Network is a new app that lets your business get wholesale fuel right at the pump and the ability to control those purchases right from your web browser. You'll save time at the pump, time on accounting, and control your fuel bills. Join the companies already using the Carroll Fuel Network this year to help your business succeed. Visit saveonfuel.net. That's saveonfuel.net for more information.
Oh, hey.
Hey, thanks for meeting me here. It's just, you're my only lawyer friend, and I need your professional opinion. Do you see that brand new Hyundai Tucson out there? That's all I paid for it.
Let me get back to you on that.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on all Hyundai Palisade, Santa Fe, and Santa Fe hybrid models. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end July 31st. Call 202-929-0073 for details.
Look, up in the sky. It's a plane. And chickens? Skydiving? Royal Farms Chicken Palooza is back. For a limited time, get an 8-piece mixed world-famous chicken for just $12. Try our world-famous chicken subs, too. Now offering 8 daring drops with classic, spicy, or grilled chicken. And remember, ROFO Rewards members get the best deals. So sign up by downloading our app now. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
Orioles baseball is here on WBAL News Radio. Coming up in 10 minutes, we talk with the manager of the Baltimore Orioles. This is the Orioles Radio Network.
The 3-1 pitch, slam, deep right center field. Back is Lucas, turning around. It's off the wall. Westberg can trot home. Henderson being waved in. The throw from shortstop, too late. Henderson scores. A ringing double for Rutschman, and it's 5-3 Baltimore. Oh, it was great to see Adley Rutschman back in the Orioles lineup. He had a big night. 3 hits, 2 doubles, 1 from each side of the plate. Part of an 11-4 Orioles win. And welcome to it, everyone, on a boiling day in downtown Baltimore. Brett Hollander and Jeff Arnold, the first of 2 on this Tuesday afternoon and then evening between the Orioles and Blue Jays. The Orioles trying to do something they did a few days ago, really, against the Mets here, an improbable doubleheader sweep. We'll see if the Orioles can do that against the red-hot Blue Jays, who they handled 11-4 with the win last night. Adley Rutschman not in the starting lineup for Game 1. He will likely start Game 2. But Adley Rutschman, after his big night, big return, he spoke with Kevin Brown and Ben McDonald on the Masson broadcast after the game.
How'd you like being in the cleanup spot?
Oh, it's great to be back with the guys. I missed them. The fact that we're able to play big league baseball is just such a blessing, and I'm so happy to be back with these guys, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Rutsch, you had a chance to kind of hit the reset button a little bit, and what was that like for you, man, going down? Did you work on a few things? I know the main thing was to get healthy.
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
I was so inspired by what you were making that I want to do my own all-star ballpark bite, but I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm going to do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some American, get it going with some of the barbecue sauce that you have, that spicy, delicious one, and then caramelized onions. Make like a little sandwich. We cool?
Sound like a plan.
I think we did good.
Oh, thank you. Did
Thank
great.
you.
Thanks, Chef.
Chicago Cubs. A sad day for Major League Baseball and the baseball community. The Orioles will play the Cubs as the Cubs return home Friday afternoon at Wrigley Field in what will be, I am sure, an emotional day on the north side of Chicago. When we come back, we'll talk to former Orioles catcher, current Blue Jays broadcaster, and old friend, Caleb Joseph. That's next as we continue on the Orioles Radio Network.
Need to replace your cooling and heating system? Constellation Home can help. Save up to $3,000 on select cooling and heating systems with 0% financing and a 10-year parts and labor warranty available. Visit ConstellationHome.com. 10605.
Get hot deals on cool rides at Jones Bel Air Hyundai. Talk to Kevin Bramer, sales director, for a great sales experience and big savings. You're going to save with 0% 60-month factory financing on Santa Fe's and Palisades. Plus, banks are on site for instant credit approval. And Kevin and his team are going to give you $500 more than CarMax for your trade-in. You will save thousands at Bel Air Hyundai, getting hot deals on cool rides. Bel Air Hyundai, part of the Jones Junction family and only 15 minutes from the White Marsh Mall. Go online to see the selection at jonesjunction.com.
The Maryland Energy Administration is making power from the sun affordable to everyone. Their new Maryland Solar Access Program provides up to $7,500 for income-qualified households to install solar energy systems. This provides major long-term savings on your electric bills. The Maryland Solar Access Program. Power from the sun. Affordable to everyone. Learn more at energy.maryland.gov. That's energy.maryland.gov.
Navy Athletics season tickets are on sale now. The 6-game season ticket package will feature 4 American Athletic Conference matchups. The season opener August 30th against VMI and October 4th against Commander-in-Chief rival Air Force. The jet flyover, parachute teams, and brigade march-ons display the pageantry of Navy Athletics. Don't miss all of the exciting action in historic Annapolis at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium and get your tickets today at NavySports.com. Are you the manager of a great team, but your facility's heating and AC is, well, second string? Let the Water Furnace Geothermal commercial line of products transform your facility. Water Furnace Geothermal commercial systems cut your heating and cooling costs in half and provide reliable, trouble-free operation for years to come. Ground Loop Heating and Air is your local geothermal contractor who can guide you through the process and talk about what incentives are available. So, why wait? Talk to Ground Loop Heating and Air today at groundloop.com. That's groundloop.com, and let the ground you walk on heat and cool your home. Hey Baltimore fans, did you know CFG Bank is Baltimore's bank? The largest bank headquartered in Baltimore. CFG offers some of the highest deposit rates in the country and checking accounts that come with access to VIP perks at CFG Bank Arena for you and your business. Banking in a league of their own, CFG Bank is the banking partner for you. Visit cfg.bank/Orioles to get started. Member FDIC.
Thursday night at 7 p.m., Nick Testoni breaks down the Orioles' moves and what's next for the team in a 2-hour trade deadline special. Your radio home of the O's, WBAL News Radio 1090 and FM 101.5.
I'm Tony Thornton. Get traffic updates with me weekday mornings with C4 and Brian Neiman on WBAL News Radio.
Stay tuned after the game for the Orioles Clubhouse Show. This is the Orioles Radio Network.
It's the Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays playing a doubleheader today. Jeff Arnold, Brett Hollander with you. And we're pleased to be joined by a guy who's in the Blue Jays television booth this series. Our pal Caleb Joseph, who has been doing some broadcasting for Toronto. Always great to see you, Caleb. How are things going?
Going great. I was so honored to turn on the radio about 4 or 5 days ago, Brett?
Yeah, about
hear Brett Hollander and Fred Manfra on the radio. And I can vividly remember driving from the Bay Sox ballpark to where I was living. It was about a 20-minute drive, and typically our games would be finished before the Oriole games would be finished. I would turn on the radio, listen to Fred Manfra call the games, and it was just a joy to kind of hear his voice again, and great to be back on the radio for
It
the
was
Orioles.
a thrill for me. So when I worked next to him for many years, but I grew up listening to Fred, and I pulled him out of retirement for 2 days, Caleb. And
Awesome.
It would be like you getting behind the dish on a 110-degree day in Baltimore today.
Oh, that might not go as well as your broadcast went. I'm starting to feel sick to my stomach just thinking about that, and it's going to be a hot one.
Do you miss these? I mean, you did these. You did these many times over.
Oh, yes. This was, if the sun was out, I was in the lineup. Thank you, Matt Wieters, for that. Wieters took the really cool, nice, pleasant games at night. He said, hey, listen, kid, you got the day game. So it was what I signed up for. It was what I was kind of mentally prepared for. But I can honestly tell you guys that each and every night, knowing I was about to catch in the Baltimore Heat in July, August, it was nerve-wracking, and you kind of got sick to your stomach just thinking about what you were about to have to do. And I'm going to tell this story on TV later, but I vividly remember a game having to be stopped in the middle of the game because the pouches that the umpires carry the extra balls in, they were being soaked by the home plate umpire. And Andrew, who's now the visiting clubhouse attendant, was the ball boy. He would be bringing out baseballs. The umpire would put those balls in his pouches, and then when he would try and throw a new baseball in after it was fouled off, it would be soaking wet. And it was so hot during the day that everyone was drenched in sweat. They had to replace his ball bags and redo it because it was so sticky and muggy outside. And so these are unique games in Baltimore. And, you know, when I was drafted by the Orioles, I didn't think that it was going to be super hot and muggy during the summer. But sure enough, it is. And everyone who lives here knows that it can get real sticky, and you just try and stay hydrated. Just try and stay mentally locked in, because that's the first thing to go in these day games is your mental fortitude. It's a challenge, but these guys are professionals. I'm sure they'll do great.
Caleb, you do a great job with Toronto. It's so much fun to listen to you call ball games. You've had a front row seat to watch this Toronto team this year. How have they gone about putting together the best record in the American League, 63-44? Because it feels like it's not just about one guy. It seems like everybody this year has contributed to Toronto getting to this point.
Yeah, Jeff, they remind me so much of the 2014 and 2000.
Got to get yourself ready.
Yes, there are hugs, and then there's that.
Now, what is that?
What
is the purpose of that?
It's an anemometer. It measures wind speed.
So that's good.
But it looks like a fidget spinner.
Meanwhile, on the Cove, it just looks like too much fun.
It was so routine, he took his eye off.
You got to come up with this play. You got to. You're right there. You had two hands. He looked it in. Oh.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it. But as a kid that had cards, right, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
Details, head over to Orioles.com/98rock.
Summer's not over yet.
The humidity is increasing tonight and through tomorrow.
Make the most of your time.
Tracking our chances for showers and thunderstorms as we close out the day.
Plan your day with the TV11 meteorologists. Weekday mornings with C4 and Brian Neiman, 5:30 to 10 a.m.
Lots of sunshine, a little more humid and warmer.
Get the latest conditions and interactive radar anytime at WBAL.com and the WBAL radio app.
WBAL News Radio 1090 and FM 101.5.
Whether it's your first time betting or you've been gambling for years, have a plan and know the game. Be aware of the rules and odds before you gamble. Set a budget and never gamble with money you can't afford to lose. Take a break and consider teaming up with trusted friends to help you stick to your budget. Remember, if you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org for free confidential services.
This could be the most important pitch of this youngster's life. He looks at his friend across the bar, goes into his stretch, and tosses his keys. Perfect pitch.
Yeah, great call. He knew drinking and driving didn't mix, so he went to the designated sober driver.
Wherever you're watching the birds, here's how everyone wins. Get home safely. Plan a sober ride. Be the driver who saves lives. Learn more at zerodeathsmd.gov. Brought to you by the Maryland Department of Transportation.
Hi, Dan here from Baby Home Care. Have you noticed when you reach a certain age and get together with old friends, the conversation usually turns to your health? How many pills we take each day, who needs knee surgery, and the fact that your spouse won't share the bed with you unless you wear that CPAP. The fact is, we all may need home medical equipment to help us get through the day, and Baby Home Care is here to help. Whether for long-term or short-term rehab, contact us. We carry a wide variety of inventory in all sizes. For more information, visit babyhomecare.com. That's babyhomecare.com.
It's Home Run Riches season. A Harford County fan scored over $84,000 when she hit the Home Run Riches Progressive Jackpot at her grocery store. She couldn't wait to tell her family. Talk about a home run celebration. Play Home Run Riches from the Maryland Lottery, and you could walk off a winner too, instantly or as a contestant of the game. You could win $500 for being selected, $500 for Orioles home runs, and $5,000 for grand slams. Enter now at mdlottery.com/homerun. And please play responsibly.
I'm Valerie Preactor. Tomorrow morning, I'll recap today's game with C4 and Brian Neiman on WBAL News Radio.
Time to hear from the manager of the Baltimore Orioles. This is the Orioles Radio Network.
Another hot day at the ballpark and another doubleheader day at the ballpark. Orioles and Blue Jays after a big Baltimore win last night. We're with Orioles manager Tony Mansolino. It's brought to you by Visit Sarasota. Tony, going back to last night, just the length of the lineup and to see Kobe Mayo at the bottom of the order to do what he did last night and turn it over to another 21-year-old at the top of the order, even though it wasn't Jackson's best night. But just the top to bottom length of the order, it's kind of how everyone imagined it back in February.
Yeah, I feel like I do feel like we've been trending up here for a couple months, and it, kind of comes to a head on a night where you're playing the first place team in the AL East, and it's the Blue Jays, and it's a rival, and it's a really good team that's playing really well, and we go up and throw up a bunch of runs, and we do it in a pretty decidingly fashion, with the home run, with singles, with runners in scoring position, with base running, it kind of looked the whole part.
Going back to Colin Selby last night, he's on the IL now as of this morning. What do we know about the severity of the injury? I know for him it comes at a tough time because there's going to be so many opportunities in the pen.
Yeah, it's a hamstring strain. We don't know the severity.
I'm helping these kids be the best versions of themselves, and I'm also representing where I came from. And then the Zilla team, I was working with a creative guy that was with Nike. I work with my best friend who manages this team with me, and we kind of just put together what we think would look cool. We went Godzilla theme. You kind of get to help them grow up into a young man and help them just make the right steps forward. And that's really why I started it, to have impact.
It's a 5-man umpiring crew here today, and this young superstar is in the stands.
And did their feet get tangled up? Yes, so Hoppy tripped, or he might have caught that ball.
Down. There's a fastball, and there's a flying bat. It's a high car. And that ball is off the ladder. It's actually off the ladder. You never see that.
Haggerty is on with an infield hit. A little tumble behind the mound. Hat fell off. That was awesome. I mean, you just don't see that.
Hawks today.
Yep, thank you.
More still to come on the pregame show on the Orioles Radio Network.
Did someone say road trip? Grab the snacks, set the playlist, and hit the road with Point Breeze Credit Union's low auto loan rates. Whether you're buying a new or used car or refinancing an existing auto loan, you'll love the savings. Point Breeze Credit Union's low interest rates make it affordable. For easy, reliable banking, visit a Point Breeze office or pbcu.com/auto and apply for your auto loan today. Celebrating 90 years in your neighborhood.
Look, up in the sky. It's a plane. And chickens? Skydiving? Royal Farms Chicken Palooza is back. For a limited time, get an 8-piece mixed world-famous chicken for just $12. Try our world-famous chicken subs, too. Now offering 8 daring drops with classic, spicy, or grilled chicken. And remember, ROFO Rewards members get the best deals. So sign up by downloading our app now. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
Hey Orioles fans, SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Birdland, meaning SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of...
That ball was crushed!
And...
Did you see that?
Whether you're buying or selling tickets to O's games or to any other live event in Baltimore or the greater DMV, SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of every home team win. SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of...
As a fan, you know all the important sports cliches. And when you save money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive, you can get out there and give it 110%, even though that's mathematically impossible. And remember, failure is not an option. Well, it's always an option, just not a good one. But you're not worried because you've got ice in your veins. You're on fire. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, that's between you and your doctor. So get out there and leave it all on the field. Leave what? Who cares? Just leave it and save with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm meteorologist Ava Marie. Hear my forecast with C4 and Brian Neiman weekday mornings on WBAL News Radio.
Coming up, we break down today's starting pitching matchup on the Orioles Radio Network.
Doubleheader baseball today between the Orioles and the Blue Jays, as we've got this one getting underway in just a little while at 12:35, and then Game 2 is coming up at 6:35 tonight. The Orioles with an 11-4 victory over Toronto yesterday. 4 home runs and a great all-around effort for the Orioles. Jackson Holliday was the only one who didn't get a hit or reach base, but it was nice to see the effort put together by the Orioles, especially Adley Rutschman in his return, finishing with the 3 hits. When we come back, we will look closer at today's Game 1 pitching matchup on the Orioles Radio Network.
Berenberg Eye Associates is now offering dropless cataract surgery. With this procedure, you can forget about the need for eye drops in the days and weeks following your surgery. Drops can sting, be expensive, and may not be fully covered by your insurance. We have 5 convenient locations serving the greater Baltimore area for 100 years. To schedule a cataract evaluation, call 443-530-3500. That's 443-530-3500, or visit our website at berenbergeye.com. Berenberg Eye Associates. Vision for life.
Justin, Scott, and Spiegel.
Just look at his teeth. You look like you got fresh with a leprechaun.
Mornings on 98 Rock. Like a boom, boom, boom. Kirk and Marianne.
That's like my daughter, though, saying all old people smell a little bit like oatmeal. She's not wrong.
Why oatmeal? I guess because that's easy
like
to eat.
Like a little sweetness. Yeah. The skin is about to die. I don't know what it is.
Oh, yeah. I love it when your skin's about to die. It smells like oatmeal.
Afternoons from 2 to 7. 98 Rock.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save up to $800 on select smart beds. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Smarter sleep is life-changing. The Sleep Number Smart Bed, only at Sleep Number.
New Jersey's got a lot of summer wow. We got your under the sun wows. Your this is too much fun wows. Your that wine was sublime wows. And your one more time wows. So come see what your wow's gonna be. New Jersey, it's one summer wow after another after another. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
weekly hot buys, a new way to save at Wise Markets. Now, save all week long with weekly hot buys, where you'll get smoking hot prices on
afternoon. Orioles a split doubleheader today. First pitch is coming up in about 5 minutes from now, and then game 2 will be at 6:35 tonight. So a long day of baseball. We hope you can spend some time with us. Let's look at the pitching matchup for game 1. It is right-hander Charlie Morton on the mound. He opened his season in Toronto against the Blue Jays. And while the beginning of the year was not great for Morton, since May the 10th, when he made one key tweak to his delivery in Anaheim, he's gone 6-1 with a 3.53 ERA, and that includes a win last time out against the Guardians. 6 innings of 3-run baseball, 5 hits. He threw a season-high 107 pitches in the outing. He's going to face off against former Orioles minor leaguer in Easton Lucas. Lucas was traded by the Marlins to the Orioles, you might remember, in the Jonathan VR trade. And then the Orioles eventually sent Lucas to the Athletics in 2023 for Shintaro Fujinami. He is called up to make the game 1 start for Toronto today. And on the year for Easton Lucas, 3-2 with a 5.82 earned run average. Colin Selby, we got an update on him today after it looked like he suffered a lower body injury, and Tony Mansolino said to Brett it came on the last pitch that he threw. So he goes on the injured list with a left hamstring strain, and he's going to undergo an MRI this morning. Yarmil Geraldo recalled from AAA after the Orioles ended up optioning Geraldo yesterday. The umpires for the doubleheader, so you look at the Game 1 crew, it'll be Mark Ripperger calling the balls and strikes. At first base, James Jean. Vic Carapazza is going to be the crew chief, and he will umpire at second. And the third base umpire today is Brian Walsh. Umpires in their powder blue tops, all whites for the Orioles, and gray uniforms for Toronto, as the lineup cards about.
Hank Greenberg helped popularize the first baseman's mitt, holding a massive 13-inch pocketed glove. That was quickly banned, reducing the maximum size to 12 inches. Paul Richards also developed a black hole-sized catcher's mitt. This ginormous thing, measuring 42 inches in circumference, was known as Big Bertha, or the Elephant, for its massive size. It was swiftly outlawed as well.
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win! Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
My dad had bought a stack of them. And I was like, I think we can get these ourselves, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to, have that moment and have everyone so excited to, have a picture of you is a fun moment.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. plays first and hits third. The cleanup batter and shortstop is Bo Bichette. Addison Barger is going to play right field and hit fifth. Batting sixth is Ernie Clements. The 7-hole batter and left fielder is the former Astro Joey Loperfido. Will Wagner plays third base and hits 8th, and Ali Sanchez will do the catching and hit 9th. On the mound for Toronto, it is left-hander Easton Lucas. We said a former Orioles minor league player. Lucas is 28 years old from Thousand Oaks, California. And for Toronto this year, 5 appearances, 4 starts, 3-2, with a .582 earned run average. This will be his first outing with the Blue Jays since he pitched in bulk relief back on May 31st against the Athletics. Orioles are on the field. Charlie Morton starting his warm-up tosses. And this is the lineup that will play behind him. It'll be Jordan Westberg leading off at second in Game 1. Ramon Laureano DHs and bats second. Hitting third, the shortstop Gunnar Henderson. Tyler O'Neill is in right field hitting 5th. Batting fourth. Batting out of the 5 spot at third, Ramon Reyes. Hitting 6th in center field, Cedric Mullins. Colby Mayo is going to play first base and hit 7th. Hitting 8th in left, it's Colton Cowser. And Alex Jackson is going to catch for Charlie Morton and bat 9th. Morton is making his 23rd appearance in his 17th start of the year. He's 6-8 with a .548 earned run average, but he's got a 6-1 record and a .353 ERA going back to May the 10th. Throw from Jackson goes down to second base as we take the first inning, brought to you by Jones Junction. Hartford County's best 20 years in a row, as well as Baltimore's best and best of Baltimore, makes Jones the Triple Crown winner of Car Dealer Tips for sales and service. So it is showtime on this Tuesday, Game 1 of 2 between the Orioles and the Blue Jays. For the Orioles, it's their 5th doubleheader of the year, and they swept the last twin bill that they played on July 10th against the Mets. Charlie Morton into his motion, and the game's first pitch is low on a fastball at 95, 1 ball and no strikes against Nathan Lucas. Charlie Morton started Game 1 of that doubleheader, and he gets the call here for Game 1 today as the 1-0's a broken bat grounder. Hits softly to first, and a backhand mail underhands to his pitcher covering. And so Nathan Lucas is retired to start off the game, and it brings Davis Schneider up to the plate. Charlie Morton coming off a terrific outing against the Cleveland Guardians, one where Morton was trying to help out the bullpen. Morton got the win, 6 2/3 of 3-run baseball, 7 strikeouts. He walked forward and gave up a couple of home runs. Here's the turn of the pitch, and a skyscraper pop-up to the left of home plate. Schneider going over toward Jackson, going over towards the Blue Jays dugout, and he makes the catch right in front of the dugout. So Davis Schneider gone on 1 pitch, quickly 2 outs, no score here in the first inning. And now Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to bat. Our first pitch today came at 12:36. It is 97 degrees and partially cloudy skies above us with all that humidity. The time and temp brought to you by the Maryland Solar Access Program. You can end your summer strong by getting up to $7,500 to install solar panels through the Maryland Solar Access Program. Pitch is taken low by Guerrero, 1-0. You can learn more at energy.maryland.gov. 1-0 against the 5-time All-Star Guerrero, who's got a 10-game hit streak. The pitch, and that is a strike, says Mark Ripperger, our home plate umpire. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Charlie Morton saw Toronto to start off the year. Peers in as Jackson sets the target. Left foot just in front of his right. Morton with a 1-1. And it's down and in on changeup. 2 balls and a strike. Beginning of May, the Orioles were in Anaheim. Morton made an adjustment to his delivery, staying back a little bit longer, allowing his arm to catch up. And suddenly he rediscovered the curveball, and suddenly things began to turn. 2-1. Swing and a miss. For a cutter down, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And after he got a pretty high swing and miss rate on his curveball in June, he is getting a 41% whiff rate on that pitch this month, which is excellent. Morton, he'll throw the curveball the most, 4-seam, sinker, change, and cutter for the 41-year-old. So far, it's been 3 cutters and a change to Guerrero. See what Morton does here on 2-2. And it's just off the outside corner. The fastball at 96, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Guerrero is 6 for 15 lifetime against Charlie Morton, and Bo Bichette He's also had a lot of success against Charlie, and Bichette is on deck. 2 outs, top 1, no score. The payoff pitch. Breaking ball low for ball 4. As Guerrero stayed off the hook, and it's going to give Bichette a chance to bat. 2 outs, a man on first base. And Bo Bichette, who yesterday set a new Blue Jays mark in their history books. He collected 9 hits in 9 at-bats, something that no one in Blue Jays history had ever done before. Right on right, Morton to the plate, and it's a strike. Over the outer third of the plate, 0-1. Bichette having a bounce-back season. He's hitting at .295 and is batting .422 over his 10-game hitting streak. 0-1 against the Toronto shortstop. The pitch, low from Morton. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bichette leads the major leagues in hits, ranks 2nd in doubles, 2nd in multi-hit games, and his .295 average is 10th best across baseball. Even count 1-1. Mullins shaded a little towards right center. The 1-1, a cut and a miss. A cutter well placed over the outer third. It's 1-2. And then Cowser way off the line and left. O'Neill plays straight up in right. A ball, 2 strikes. Here in the first inning of what will be a long day of baseball here at Camden Yards. Split doubleheader in Game 2 scheduled for 6:35 tonight. On a ball and 2 strikes, Morton sets, throws outside. As he missed there to Bichette, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Morton, as well as he's pitched, one thing that he has done a little more, though, is issue a couple more walks. He's issued 3 or more walks in each of his last 3 starts. 2-2. Here's the pitch. It's lashed foul, upstairs and off to the right. Setting up another 2-2 into Bichette, and there is a chance this could be the last start for Charlie Morton in an Orioles uniform. With teams trying to upgrade their starting pitching at the deadline, Morton is somebody a lot of clubs are paying attention to. 2-2. Breaking ball, swatted foul off to the right. And pitch number 7 coming up to Bichette in this 0-0 game in the first.
Bichette's been doing this to Orioles pitching since he reached the big leagues with the Blue Jays. Such a frustrating at-bat for any pitcher. It's like his bat is just longer and bigger than any other player.
So Morton's going to step off the rubber now. And Bichette backs out of the box.
A free swinger in one sense, but he also makes contact so much, and his bat can seemingly get to any pitch anywhere.
2-2. Breaking ball, floated center field. Mullins starts to go back now. He makes the catch in fairly deep center. With the ball carrying a bit. Grab made, though, inning over, and Guerrero left on base at first. So it's a scoreless top of the first for Charlie Morton. Toronto 0, and the Orioles coming up.
Go to HurstCareers.com and search Baltimore.
The home of the Orioles. WBAL News Radio.
It's the bottom of the first inning, and the Orioles getting ready to face left-hander Easton Lucas. Again, the Orioles lineup, it goes Westberg, Laureano, Henderson at the top, middle of the order, O'Neill, Urias, and Mullins, and then Mayo, Cowser, and Jackson. Round things out as they face the 6'4 left-hander Easton Lucas, making his 6th appearance and his 5th start of the year. Left-hander throws, and that is belted out to right center field. Barger on his way back. That hits off the top part of the wall. It stays in play. Rounding second is Westberg, but he is going to hang on at second base. Tony Mansolino, the Orioles skipper, comes out of the dugout, hand up, saying, let's just take a look to be sure that this ball did not exit the ballpark. And now Mansolino is coming out. Jogging in from second is Vic Carapazza, and I think he is asking for a crew chief review.
Crew chief review of the potential home run.
It appears that this ball hit off the very top part of the wall, and the wall is recessed behind it, but I don't think it hit off that back wall beyond what looked like the MidStar health sign, so I think this is going to stay a double.
I think this is the second time we've seen this year where it hit off the top of the wall and then came back into the field of play. That part of the wall is not angled in any way, so it's very strange to me that the momentum shifts back towards the field as opposed to continuing out, which would have given Westberg a home run.
Now Westberg, who had 3 hits on his bobblehead day yesterday, and who described things going into yesterday's game as a struggle. It's nice to see him turn things around over these last couple, as he, for right now, has got a double off of Easton Lucas. Mark Ripperger and the crew chief Vic Carapazza are near home plate, waiting for the replay center into New York to either confirm this is a double or to let Westberg continue his trek around the bases. So here's the call.
After review, the call in the field is confirmed. The ball is live and in play. Runner at second base.
So it hits off the top part of the wall. Mark Ripperger, James Jean, Vic Carapaz with a call there, and Brian Walsh, your umpires. And so it'll send up Ramon Laureano. The Orioles were already thinking they'd have their 5th home run of this series already. They got 4 of them yesterday. Laureano had 1 of them. A 2-run shot, right-hand hitter, and he takes in from Lucas on a hard changeup at 89. 1 ball and no strikes. It was the 15th home run of the year for Ramon Laureano, and that is the 2nd most he's ever produced in a season. Jack of the runner at second, 1-0. Strike taken on a change in the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike. The only year for Laureano where he had more home runs, you have to go back to 2019 when he was a member of the then Oakland Athletics. Slightly closed in the right-handed box. Feet close together. 1-1 pitch. Hit on the ground on 1 hop to third. Guerrero's going to throw towards third. Wagner now throws back into second base. And Westberg is going to make it in safely as Clement knocked the throw down. It was a wild throw from Wagner, but it did not leave the infield. Fortunately, though, everybody is safe as Laureano reaches base. And for the Orioles, it's still first and second and nobody out, with Guerrero seeing Westberg thinking about third, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. electing to throw that way. So it's a fielder's choice. The throw went behind Westberg and was caught by Clement, stationed behind the bat.
Yeah, an interesting play by Guerrero. You see what he was doing there. It's almost like he unloaded too quickly. Westberg had time to get back to the bag.
Way outside here to Gunnar Henderson. 1 ball and no strikes.
He was committed to going to third, but he was only maybe 30, 40 feet off the bag at second. At the very least, you know at that point it's going to be a close play at second base.
1-0. Outside with a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes.
Early in the game, you probably want the shore out there. But a ground ball right side, it's automatic that runner at second base is getting to third.
Westberg got a pretty big secondary lead. Guerrero took a shot. It didn't pay off. 2-0 pitch. Anderson takes a knee-high strike. 2 balls and a strike. Easton Lucas, who came to the Orioles in a trade for Jonathan Villar. Mike Elias had scouted Lucas when he was at Pepperdine. And then Lucas was eventually flipped from the Orioles to the Athletics a couple years later in return for a guy by the name of Shintaro Fujinami.
I remember him.
2 balls and a strike. Here's the set. Now the pitch. Outside. On a hard slider, 3 balls and 1 strike. Fujinami, when he was here for the Orioles, it was usually either really good or really bad. But he had electric stuff, and the guy that was sent to the Athletics for him, one of them was Easton Lucas, who is appearing with Toronto for the first time since May 31st. 3-1. Popped up, left side. Wagner, the third baseman, is over, but it's up into the seats, about 15 rows. Full count. He last pitched for Toronto in bulk relief, but we mentioned that of his 5 appearances with Toronto coming in, all but 1 were starts. And he started 4 games, Lucas, for the Blue Jays in April as they dealt with some injuries in their starting rotation. 3-2. Over the head of the catcher, Sanchez, and that is ball 4. Everybody will move up anyways. That was a pitch that went straight over the head of the catcher, Ali Sanchez. And now the Orioles, they have got the bases loaded. There is nobody out. The walk picked up by Gunnar Henderson there. It is brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Get out of pain and back to doing what you love at the Good Feet Store. Go to goodfeet.com to find a store near you and book your appointment today. So Lucas in hot water already. Pitch to O'Neill, almost hits him as it comes around his knees, and he jumps out of the way.
What's kind of amazing, Jeff, about last night's offensive performance, 11 runs, 16 hits, a lot of extra base hits. Holiday and Henderson were 0 for 9 combined with 4 strikeouts.
1-0 offering. O'Neill flares it foul. First base side, 1-1.
So Holiday has been really your most consistent hitter for an extended stretch, and your leadoff hitter, then your best all-around player, Henderson. They do almost nothing last night, but to me it shows the hope of this lineup that's now much longer and deeper.
1-1 pitch, a pop-up coming back towards us. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I mean, adding Rutschman into the cleanup spot should be able to do wonders for this team. If last night is any indicator of what this offense could be, when, as you mentioned, Brett, 2 key members don't do anything, and you still finish with 11 runs on 16 hits. O'Neill has been smoking lately, 7 for his last 13. 1-2. Off the inside. 2 balls and 2 strike is a fastball miss.
Now this roster is about to evolve rapidly in the days ahead, but on this day as the Orioles play a doubleheader, you also see what could have been with the depth of this position group. Everyone's going to play today in this doubleheader.
2-2. O'Neill takes low and in. 3 balls, 2 strikes with a changeup down and nowhere for O'Neill to go.
And you can look at this roster and there'll be really good players not playing in either game 1 or game 2, which is a good thing on a day where it's going to be about 110 degrees. But they have the depth right now to go do that.
Full count, no one out. Pitch. And that is ripped out to left field. Loperfido is back. He makes the catch. Westberg from third tags up. He is down to score. And Tyler O'Neill with his latest RBI, his 18th run driven in of the year. And the sacrifice fly makes it 1-0. Orioles with Laureano and Henderson both staying anchored at second and first. So another hard hit ball there for Tyler O'Neill, who had homers in each game of the Colorado series. Sets up a chance now for Ramon Urias, while Sanchez, the catcher, walks out in front of home and delivers defensive signals. In the outfield for Toronto today, it goes Joey Loperfido, Nathan Lucas, and Addison Barger left to right. On the infield, Will Wagner at third, Bo Bichette at short, Ernie Clement at second, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at first, then Ali Sanchez, the battery mate for Easton Lucas. The pitch. That's a line drive, left field, base hit. Stop sign goes up at third for Laureano as the throw relayed in on 1 bounce to the left of the mound. Urias, he's got the Orioles' second hit of the inning, and we're right back where we were a moment ago. Bases loaded, and now the veteran pitching coach for Toronto, Pete Walker, coming out to the mound to speak to Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas, he might be out there for a while with the state of the Toronto bullpen after last night, and with 3 games in 24 hours, 4 games in about 48 hours. We'll see how it pans out, but on a hot, sultry day like this is pretty much the worst thing you can imagine for the Toronto Blue Jays.
You remember yesterday, and I'm sure he's still kicking himself for this, but Chris Bassett made it just 2 1/3 innings, gave up 6 runs on 7 hits. 5 different Blue Jays relievers pitched. A key member of their pen, Brendan Little, threw 24 pitches and didn't even complete an inning. So who knows if Toronto's to take the lead, if they'd even have him available. So Toronto making a couple of roster moves before the game. One of them, Lucas, who is starting here, but he's got bases loaded. Just 1 out in the inning, and Cedric Mullins batting. 1-0 O's the pitch. Foul tip into the glove of Sanchez. It's 0-1. Cedric Mullins, another impressive night, and what might be his last couple of games in an Orioles uniform. We'll have to see how things shake out come deadline day. 0-1. Breaking ball low. A slider down, 1 ball and 1 strike. The longest tenured member of the Orioles team. He's been with the club for 8 years in Mullins, and yesterday hit his 15th home run of the year in the 2nd inning. So good this year against left-hand pitching. 1-1, a pop-up foul off to the third base side. 1-2. But maybe big moment for him yesterday was when Toronto nearly had a game-tying 2-run homer until Cedric Mullins scaled the wall and pulled it back, getting a hat tip from his pitcher, Zach Eflin. 1-2 offering. Fastball outside. Traces the front line of the right-handed box, and it's 2-2. And Zach Eflin said after the game, as soon as it was hit, he was like, there's another homer. The year of the home run for me. And then Mullins changed the momentum of the game. 2-2. Inside, as it came around the belt buckle of said, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And again, Lucas nowhere to go. He's thrown 22 pitches in the first, 11 balls and 11 strikes.
You have to think Mullins is getting a fastball here. Not that Lucas can command that at all either.
Full count, 1 out, bases loaded. Payoff. Mullins, a pop-up foul as it comes over the screen.
Went to the slider there. Mullins protecting on that, I think, waiting for the heat. You see what Michael Elias liked in Lucas, just with the middle upper 90s fastball coming from the left side.
3-2. Base runners lead. Third to first. Payoff. Mullins floats it foul off to the left side.
Fastball way up today, what we've seen from Lucas, even though he has pitched sporadically in the big leagues this year. He averages about 93.5 miles per hour in the heat. We've seen 97 in this inning.
And we saw him throw his changeup 89 at the start of this inning. The slider and the cutter have been his 2 best pitches this year. 3-2. Mullins shoots it foul over the screen, and the dance continues with pitch number 9 about to be thrown.
And already 24 pitches for Lucas. As long as Mullins doesn't hit into a double play, you would figure he's going to be around 30 or more, at least in the first.
Laureano, Henderson, Urias, third to first. Lucas works from the stretch. Payoff. And that is a fly ball into deep left center field. Lo Perfido chasing. He makes the catch as Laureano tags from third base. He's the latest to come on down. The throw goes into third, and a 2-0 lead. Orioles with sac flies from O'Neill and Mullins to have a multi-run first inning. And the Orioles finding a way to get a couple across against Easton Lucas. And it's not like it gets any easier from here. You have Kobe Mayo stepping up to the plate now. And Mayo, over the last week, with an OPS of over 1,700. And yesterday, Mayo added his 3rd career home run. Came in the 2nd inning off of Chris Bassett. He hits with Henderson at second and Urias at first. Lucas comes set, checks the runner, but pitches, and it's low on a cutter, 1 ball and no strikes. And the thing for Easton Lucas is he has just fallen behind so many times. Mayo, high slugging percentage this month, has not expanded the zone. 1-0 pitch, low. 2 balls and no strikes. Now, Ryan Mountcastle, we heard, sounds like he might be ready to return during the Phillies series. That's what Tony Mansolino said beforehand. Maybe add or subtract a couple of days. 2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Grounded foul off the facing of Toronto's dugout on the third base side, but you have to keep playing Kobe Mayo. I mean, he is so hot right now. He's improved at first base. And a few mechanical tweaks to the plate, one being where he stands farther back of the box, has been the reason the at-bats have been so much better.
Yeah, I think by and large, the rest of the way, Mayo is going to be an everyday player.
2-1 offering, broken bat grounder back to the pitcher. Lucas runs towards first, underhands that way, and gets the out. But 7 come to the plate for the Orioles in the bottom of the first inning. 2 sacrifice flies mean a 2-0 Orioles lead against Toronto.
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
I want to ask you about food. What is something that you have to eat to be the judge?
Oh, Aaron Judge! Send him to Monument Park now!
We got some good chefs in New York. They've been cooking up some nice chopped cheeses, and that kind of, it gets you, yeah. I don't know if I should tell the kids that they should be eating chopped cheese before a game.
Before the game, probably steak. That's usually what I go to.
A lot of steak, no vegetables.
No vegetables?
No vegetables.
Is it straight protein?
Yeah.
Match it. Terms and conditions apply. 89794.
I'm TJ Smith. Join me weekdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Midday Show on WBAL News Radio.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Orioles Radio Network.
WBAL, WIYY HD2 Baltimore. This is WBAL News Radio 1090 and FM 101.5.
Charlie Morton misses low and in with his first pitch of the top of the second inning. Orioles 2 and Toronto nothing. The second inning, it is brought to you by SeatGeek. Along with Brett Hollander, Jeff Arnold with you. The turn of the 1-0 from Barger. And a breaking ball stays wide. 2 balls and no strikes. Big Al Hildebeidel is our on-site producer engineer. Big Al, you ready for a long day of baseball? He nods his head yes. The 2-0 pitch. Strike called on a curve at the knees. 2-1. Good, because you're responsible for everything that the guy next to me does, okay? Sometimes he can get a little wild during doubleheader days. 2-1 offering. Barger swings and misses at a cutter in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In case you're wondering, Brett just popped out of the booth for a second, I think, to use the men's room. So we can have a little fun at his expense while he's not here. 2-2 here against Barger. He's hitting at .264 on the year, 14 homers. Hits the ball really hard. The pitch. And that's hit on the ground off the left side of the mound. On the backhand, it's Henderson. Throws to first. And Barger is retired. Out number 1 of the top of the second inning. Bringing us to Ernie Clement. Gunnar Henderson is at short in game 1. Joined on the left side of the infield by Urias at third. Jordan Westberg at second. Kobe Mayo at first. Colton Cowles, the left fielder. Cedric Mullins in center. Tyler O'Neill is in right. And then the catcher for the Orioles in game 1 is Alex Jackson. Working with Charlie Morton, the pitch. Fastball over but wide. 1 ball and no strikes. You're facing Ernie Clement, who's hitting at .278 on the year. One of the hardest guys in baseball to strike out. The 1-0 slapped on the ground right to shortstop. Henderson another chance. On to first. Gets Clement. Pair of 6-3 putouts to start the second inning. 2-0 Orioles with the lead. And Joey Loperfido stepping up to the plate. Charlie Morton so far just one base runner allowed. That was after the 2-out walk to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 41-year-old right-hander. Looks in and delivers to Lo Perfido. And it's hit on the ground. Right to the third baseman. Urias playing off the line. Throws to first. 3 ground ball outs. 3 fast outs for Charlie Morton in the second inning. As the Orioles will come back up in the bottom of the second, with the O's leading Toronto 2-0. That is
know what we can do. If you're injured in a car crash, call the Mike Slocum Law Firm. 844-MIKE-WINS.
WBAL News Radio 1090, FM 101.5, and the WBAL app.
Birdland cheer on the Orioles against the Athletics on Saturday, August 9th at Camden Yards at 7:05. The first 20,000 fans receive an Adam Jones Orioles Hall of Fame bobblehead. There will be an on-field ceremony prior to first pitch recognizing Adam Jones, Joe Ursulak, and Tom Davis. Buy your tickets today at Orioles.com/tickets.
Pitch on the way. Colton Cowser takes a strike at the top of the zone. 0-1. Very much looking forward to that. It'll be Cowser, Jackson, and Westberg in the second inning here against Easton Lucas. But a 30-pitch first. The pitch to Cowser, and a breaking ball stays inside to Colton. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cowser, who was scuffling coming in yesterday, ended up having a home run later in the ball game. Came in the 7th inning. The 1-1. Breaking ball to strike over the outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And for Colton, it snapped a string of 16 games without a home run. He had no homers in his previous 77 plate appearances, a home as well, as the breaking ball is low. 2-2. Prior to yesterday, all of Colton's homers, for whatever reason, had come on the road. Now here he is, 2-2. Jackson on deck, and then Jordan Westberg against Lucas in the second. Here's the pitch from the lefty, and the 2-2 yanked way outside. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. So far for Easton Lucas, the stuff has been good. We've seen mid to upper 90s with a fastball. The command, though, has not been good. He's fallen behind a lot, and now he's in another full count. Payoff. Cowser drills it high and foul into the upper deck in right. Now Lucas, he's going to have to figure it out somehow, because a lot of baseball left to be played between the Orioles and Toronto. 9 innings here, and then game 2 will be at 6:35 tonight. 3 balls, 2 strikes against Cowser. Lucas pitches from the stretch, the payoff pitch, and he went too far, as Cowser could not hold at the elevated fastball. It's out number 1 of the bottom of the second inning, and it's going to bring Alex Jackson up to the plate. Yesterday, when Adley Rutschman was added back to the roster, we heard that it was kind of a 50-50 split on which of the 2 catchers to keep. It was Jackson, who remains on the Orioles roster, while Jacob Stallings was designated for assignment. Right hand hitter, the pitch to Jackson, 3/4 swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Sounds like for Alex Jackson, what the Orioles like is that he can hit the ball a little bit. He has really good receiving ability. 0-1. High pop-up on the right side of the infield. Second baseman Clement now backing onto the outfield grass, makes the catch a few feet out. Second out of the second inning. Orioles 2, Toronto nothing. And then kind of the figure that over time, as Jackson catches more, that he is going to get to learn the Orioles pitching staff. But still, a lot of folks spoke very highly of Jacob Stallings. Tony Mansolino was saying it was incredible that he could walk in, spend so little time in the Orioles clubhouse, and how much respect he garnered right away. Pitch to Jordan Westberg, a strike over the outside, and it's 0-1. But Adley Rutschman is back, and you certainly are glad that he's here. And because he's had a lot of time off, you figure he'll be able to catch a little bit more compared to what his workload would normally be this time of year. Outside on the 0-1, 1-1.
Yeah, I don't know what Stallings wants to do should he clear waivers, but I imagine there's a pretty good chance he would, although he may, at this point in his life, opt for free agency and just be out in the open market.
1-1. Westberg sails it right center field, carrying a bit. Lucas nearing the warning track. He is on it now, and he makes the catch. Backpedaling out towards the T-Row Price sign. And the inning is over. So Lucas retires the sign and order in the second. Not the Orioles in game one.
Visit babyhomecare.com. That's babyhomecare.com. Listen to the C4 and Brian Neiman Show right here at WBAL News Radio 1090 and FM 101.5.
8-9-1 coming up for Toronto here in the third inning. The Orioles score a pair of runs in the first off of 2 sacrifice flies. It'll be Will Wagner to start things off against right-hander Charlie Morton, stepping in with a play-by-play. Long day ahead for us, brother. Here's WB Holland.
Jeffrey, my boy, great to see you. Doubleheader baseball. What could be better? First pitch from Morton, way inside to Will Wagner, and we're underway in the top of the third. 2-0 Orioles. Morton just one base runner so far. This is looped down the left field line. Cows are on a dead run, but it will slice out of play just over the netting down the line. A ball and a strike to Will Wagner. I'm Brett Hollander making the call with Jeff Arnold. And if you need a lawyer, make the call to Miller Stern Lawyers at 410 Law Firm, your Baltimore area personal injury and medical malpractice legal experts. The 1-1. Wagner looks at a curveball down. 2-1. Charlie Morton, who has just been a model of consistency over an extended stretch. This curveball way outside, 3-1 to Wagner. Jeff mentioned the numbers, but his last 13 games, he has a 3.5 ERA. The 3-1, big chopper to the right side. It backs up Westberg on the edge of the outfield grass, on to first. That's out number 1. And that's how the top of the third begins. The third inning is brought to you by Constellation Home for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs.
Catcher number 20, Ali Sanchez.
Ali Sanchez, the backup catcher right now with Alejandro Kirk out on the concussion injured list. He will start game 1 here, a right-handed batter and a longtime minor league player. He takes a perfect curveball dropped in there to get ahead on 1. But for Morton, his record, 6-1 in his last 13 games. That includes some relief appearances, but mostly starts. The 0-1, fouled away off to the right. 0-2. 3.5 ERA. The team in that stretch, his personal record is 6-1, but the team is 8-5. A stark contrast to his first 9 outings. when he had a 9.38 ERA, and the Baltimore Orioles were 0-9. In fact, in Morton's first 12 appearances, the Orioles were 0-12. The 0-2, a tapper on a curveball, foul. Sanchez stays alive and remains 0-2. So on games where Morton pitched, either as a starter or reliever, the Orioles were 0-12 to begin the season. But he has turned it around. The 0-2. Ground ball, fair. Down the third base line and headed for the corner. Sanchez around first base. He'll make it to second easily. A stand-up double as Cowser heaves it back towards the infield for the number 9 batter and backup catcher Ali Sanchez. So with one out, he's in scoring position. And that ball was smoked. 103 off the bat, down the line. Ali Sanchez aboard. And here comes Tony Mansolino. No idea what this could be about. Drew French is out as well. He's going to walk towards the mound to talk to Charlie Morton. Mansolino's barking at home plate umpire Mark Ripperger, and he's as demonstrative as we've ever seen from anything Tony Mansolino ever says or does. In fact, he's walking back towards the dugout. He's about to get run. He had more to say as he turned around, and you could tell the home plate umpire kicking dirt around home plate. He's very frustrated with whatever Mansolino said. I have absolutely no idea what it could be about. Mansolino came out after the double. It looked like a ordinary double down the left field line. Now an extended conversation on the mound that's broken up by the home plate umpire between the catcher Alex Jackson and Drew French. French came out almost as a side to Mansolino's argument just after a one-out double. Not much to it. Now Morton going to work against Nathan Lucas, who grounded out his first time up. Top of the third, 2-0 Baltimore. And the pitch. Inside as Lucas twists out of the way of a cutter. 1-0. I mean, I simply have no idea what that could be about. Morton checks on Sanchez at second base. And this curveball, a beauty, on the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. Charlie Morton works from the stretch. And the pitch. A slow tapper back to the mound. Morton off the mound. He has it. He'll underhand it to first base. And that's out number 2 as Sanchez advances to third base.
Hitter number 36, Davis Schneider.
So a slow tapper, now Davis Schneider, the DH, and number 2 hitter will come to the plate. Orioles can back up the infield here with 2 outs and a 2-0 lead. Just 36 pitches for Charlie Morton. Eflin, who did not pitch well last night by the line. And it's Cutter in there for a strike, 0-1. Eflin got off to a good start last night. First time through the order, he breezed. And then things changed dramatically for Eflin in the third with a couple of outs and the base is empty. So Morton is looking to avoid that. The 0-1. That fastball inside at 94 miles per hour. That's a ball, 1-1. 1-1 to Davis Schneider. Right on right in the pitch. A big chopper towards third base. Urias plays a short hop as he charges in and then heaves it way away from first base and Kobe Mayo. And that will score a run, and that will be an extra 90 feet for Davis Schneider. Urias with a really tough play. He did the hard part as he was charging towards home plate. He was able to field a really tough short hop, and then he did something he almost never does, which is fire inaccurately. And it wasn't even close to Kobe Mayo, so that should be an infield hit. And you can give an RBI to Schneider and then an error on the third baseman, Urias. Had he made that play, and if the throw was accurate, it would have been very close at first. I'm not sure if he gets it, but now a runner in scoring position with Guerrero as the inning continues. And a fastball strike one to get ahead of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. You almost never see Urias throw inaccurately. The 0-1. Fastball called a strike. Guerrero can't believe it. It was low. Morton gets the call, and he jumps ahead 0-2. Guerrero with a frustrated long stroll by the right-handed batter's box. Saw some frustration with the home plate umpire last night, Brian Walsh, really from both dugouts. But Mark Ripperger hearing it from some Blue Jays and Orioles here in this top of the third. 0-2 to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Morton checks on Schneider at second base. A slow tapper back to the mound. Morton has it on a big bounce on to first base, and that's that. The Blue Jays do score a run, but they leave a runner in scoring position as we head to the home half of the third on a very hot day at Camden Yards. 2-1 Baltimore.
What is it about baseball cards that make them so special? Why do you enjoy doing that?
Well, the biggest thing is I started collecting when I was a kid. O-Pee-Chee was a Canadian hockey league, and then the Canadian football. But I didn't start in the U.S. until I had signed professionally as a ball player. And when I got my first rookie card, and I've got it here with me.
Let's take a peek at that.
1966 with Billy Sorrell.
All right, so here's the Mets home jersey. To me, growing up in New York, also a very iconic jersey. The blue pinstripes that represented the Dodgers. Got the orange outline, which represented the Giants, which are the two teams that left New York. And then subsequently, the Mets were created. You know, my parents were Mets fans growing up, and this was the jersey that I also dreamed of wearing.
M101.5. Orioles baseball is here on WBAL News Radio.
Friday Fireworks presented by SeatGeek back at Camden Yards. August 8th, experience the excitement as the Orioles face off against the Athletics, followed by a spectacular postgame fireworks show. Secure your tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets.
That's Jeff. I'm Brett. Baseball on the radio pretty much all day and all night. Thank you so much for being with us. Easton Lucas fires a heater by a big swing of Ramon Laureano. 0-1 to Laureano. Orioles have a 2-1 lead, bottom of the third, game one of a doubleheader between the Orioles and the Blue Jays. Fastball a little high for ball one, 1-1. I do find it really interesting, Jeff, that on this exact date last year, these two teams played a doubleheader here at Camden Yards. How is that even possible? The 1-1, this is skied down the right field line over the right fielder Barger. He'll give it a look, but it's just over the netting, out of play, 1-2.
I don't know, Brett. It was right around deadline time last year, and it was a split of the twin bill, and we all remember what happened in the first game where James McCann ended up getting hit in the face and still managed to stay in the game. So Adley Rutschman wouldn't have basically had to catch two games.
It's a moment I'll never forget. A 1-2 pitch, upstairs for a ball, 2-2. It was epic. It was historic.
It was Rocky-like.
James McCann, like a prize fighter, staying in the game and then catching the 2-2. Line drive, base hit, left field. Laureano stays hot. What else is new? A leadoff single against the lefty Easton Lucas, and now Henderson will bat. But it was a moment to remember. The thoughts running through all of our heads at the moment after McCann got hit in the face, and we all saw the blood on the ground, was simply, is he okay, and will he be going right to the hospital? And then when he eventually, after an extended delay, started going towards first base, all of our jaws were on the floor. Henderson, a mighty swing and a miss at 96. That was elevated on 1. And he did it for the team. He did it because it was a hot doubleheader day like this, and he did not want to have Adley Rutschman catch what would have been essentially 18 innings. If I recall correctly, that was early in the game. The 0-1, up and in, 1-1.
I think it was the first inning. Because remember, Yariel Rodriguez started for Toronto. He was all over the place. And eventually he hits James McCann, and I think he exited after that.
1-1 to Henderson as Laureano leads him first in the dirt. Good take by Gunnar. 2-1. But to have a doubleheader exactly a year apart in the same venue with the same two teams is odd to me as the baseball calendar goes. 2-1 to Gunnar. The pitch. He takes a cutter down the way. 3-1 to Henderson, who walked in his first plate appearance. O'Neill on deck, 2-1 Orioles. After Baltimore pounded the baseball last night, they've been doing that recently. It's one thing to do it against Colorado. It's another thing to do it against Toronto. Time is called by Gunnar. But over the course of the season, the Orioles will play a few day games and some weekday day games in the middle of the summer. And you get one or two of these a year where it's just incredibly hot. The 3-1 pitch, swing, and a foul tip in and out of the mitt of the catcher, Sanchez. Now it's 3-2 to Henderson. I mean, a couple of days, as long as I can remember, where it's just boiling. And that's today. I think field level about 110 right now. We talked to Caleb Joseph before the game as Estrada, the righty, gets loose in the Blue Jays bullpen. And he had to catch a lot of these games here. He's here calling games for the Blue Jays. The 3-2. Henderson goes the other way, and he has a base hit to left. It's going to be cut off by Loperfido. Stopping at second is Laureano. And it's first and second with nobody out in the bottom of the third. Good piece of hitting by Gunnar Henderson. He's been on base twice. So first and second with speed on the bags. O'Neill, who's been red hot, had a sacrifice fly for an RBI his first time up. But Caleb said that Matt Wieters, these were not his kind of games. He'd do the nightcap. The day games in July and August, those were for Caleb Joseph. Left on right here, O'Neill is homered in 3 straight games. The pitch, swing, and a foul ball, and that got the catcher Sanchez. And it may have gotten him in a rough spot. 1-1 on a foul ball. But Caleb says it gets so hot that the bags the umpires wear to hold the fresh baseballs that they will put in play were saturated just from the sweat of the umpire. 0-1 to Tyler O'Neill. Lucas checks on Laureano. Now his pitch. And that cutter is inside 1-1.
Yeah, it's something that occurs maybe a little more frequently than you would expect, where because the umpire is soaking wet themselves, I mean, they wear a lot of gear under their shirt and pants that sometimes the ball bags they have the balls in can get really wet.
The 1-1 rolled foul, third base side, 1-2.
And there are times where when it's so hot that sometimes the ball person, they'll not only bring out new baseballs, but maybe the umpire attendant will bring out new ball bags for the umpire to put on just because it can get that hot. And that was a story that Caleb Joseph was telling us earlier today.
1-2 to Tyler O'Neill. The pitch. That's high as he leans out of the way. 2-2. Now, Jeff, in your expertise of umpires, the good news is Mark Rippinger, who's behind the dish in Game 1, he will not have to umpire it all in Game 2, correct?
That is correct. He gets to take it to the house.
2-2 to O'Neill. And a good take on a good slider that was down and in. Now 3-2 as the pitch count continues to climb for Easton Lucas, now at 58 pitches. Laureano at second, Henderson at first. Guerrero playing well back in the bag at first. It's 3-2 to O'Neill. Baltimore already with a 2-1 lead. Trying to add right now. Probably already towards the end of the line for Easton Lucas. The 3-2. That is up and in for ball 4. And they're loaded again. Laureano to third, Henderson to second, O'Neill at first. And now Ramon Urias will bat. And you just have to wonder how long John Schneider is going to stick with him. The Blue Jays have been blown out in back-to-back games. Caleb Joseph also said, it looks like it's the Blue Jays' division to lose right now, but a bad day on a doubleheader, that can change things quickly. Urias takes the ball well inside, a changeup towards his knees, and it's 1-0.
Fortunately for Toronto, though, the Blue Jays have been helped out by the fact the Yankees have not been playing very well recently. And over this extended run that Toronto has had, with wins in 21 of their last 28, 6 out of 7 wins against the Yankees.
The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Urias couldn't get to an elevated fastball, 1-1. You have Laureano at third, Henderson at second, O'Neill at first. There's been a ton of traffic here early for the Orioles. Left on right here, Lucas sets above the belt. Former Oriole farmhand delivers, and it's a swing and a foul tip off the catcher Sanchez, now 1-2. Maybe first got Urias as he is hunched over, now hobbling, limping terribly outside the batter's circle. And Tony Mansolino, Orioles manager, and Scott Behringer, the Orioles head athletic trainer, will come out. This is not a good sign. Urias, I think, must have fouled that off his foot or instep or shin. We'll get a replay right now. That one got him right in the shin on the front foot. He's trying to walk it off, but two things right now. The health of Urias and a doubleheader day. Do you have to go to your bench very early in this game? It's not the way Tony Mansolino wanted to set it up. He's trying to walk it off. And Urias also a trade prospect right now.
I think, Brett, is he's got a guard on his front foot, which is where he hit that ball right down onto his shin. But even if you have one of those things on, and I'm not sure if it hit the guard or not, but even if it does hit the guard, it can still hurt.
2-1 Orioles. Urias back in the box. Mullins is on deck. The pitch by Lucas. That is rope foul. Off the netting down the left field line. It remains 1-2. Nice play by the ball person down the line. Easton Lucas, once acquired by Baltimore for Jonathan Villar and then traded from Baltimore for Fujinami. Slow tapper towards third base, up the line, and it will roll foul. It remains 1-2. Yeah, that 2023 trade where the Orioles are trying to catch lightning in a bottle with Shintaro Fujinami. He's not the first complex figure in my baseball life, Jeff, but he's one of them. Because the stuff was so overwhelming. As good as you will ever see, name your relief pitcher right now in baseball. Fujinami, based on stuff, can match any of them. But there were many days he had no idea where it was going. The 1-2, a pop-up. First baseman Guerrero over, the catcher Sanchez over, and it's a few rows back of the Orioles dugout, and Urias still has life. I mean, no idea where it was going.
Yeah, but when he was on, it was lights out. And you were seeing somebody that could be a true back-end reliever in the major leagues, but command was always his biggest problem.
1-2 to Ramon Urias. Bases loaded, nobody out. The pitch. Pop foul out of play off to the left. An extended at bat right now. Pretty much the last thing Easton Lucas would want. 1-2 to Ramon Urias. The pitch. Skied shallow left center. The left fielder Loper Fido over. The center fielder Lucas calling for it. He makes the catch. Tagging from third is Laureano, and he will score. It nicked off the glove of Guerrero. And then getting to third base is Henderson. So a very productive out for Ramon Urias. It's 3-1 Baltimore on the sac fly tag up. Third sacrifice fly for the Orioles today. They're manufacturing runs, and it's first and third and just one out. So Henderson's at third. O'Neill's at first. Blue Jays will bring the infield in. Sanchez, the catcher, calling out the play. See if the Orioles want to put anyone in motion here. Mullins will be the batter, left on left here. I imagine this is the end of the line for Easton Lucas. He's at 67 pitches. It has just been laborious at best. He's down 3-1. But this is left on left against Cedric. The pitch. And a slider that missed off the plate. Not by much. These are really good at-bats and good takes by the Orioles. 1-0 to Mullins.
The thing for Easton Lucas, Brett, this year when the Blue Jays have used him, his outings have usually gone one way. It's or one of two ways. Really good or really bad.
The 1-0, swing and a miss. Mullins couldn't catch up to the fastball, 1-1.
I mean, Brett, earlier this year, he threw 5 1/3 scoreless against the Red Sox. He had 5 scoreless of one-hit baseball against Washington. But then he has had some slugs. Got hit hard by Atlanta and then by Seattle back in April.
The 1-1, chipped into left field. It backs up Loper Fido. He's under it. Now charging in, tagging from third as he makes the catch is Henderson. The throw's going to get cut off. It's another sacrifice fly for the Orioles as Henderson scores, and it's 4-1 Baltimore. The 4th sacrifice fly for Orioles batters today, and they'll take it. And these aren't particularly deep, but they're getting the job done. And that tag up from Henderson to third base on the back end of the last sacrifice fly was the difference there.
And John Schneider's coming out, Brett, and he's going to make the signal to the bullpen. And then we've talked about how Toronto, the key for them is the team at-bats that they have taken. We've seen a lot of really good team at-bats from the Orioles in these first 3 innings, and it means that the day is officially over for Easton Lucas.
A rough go to start a doubleheader for the Blue Jays. The Orioles will take it. This call, the bullpen, is brought to you by the auto loan experts at Point Breeze Credit Union. Celebrate.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
Inventory in all sizes. For more information, visit babyhomecare.com. That's babyhomecare.com.
Out of the game is Easton Lucas. Into the game, the right-hander Luzardo Estrada, making just his 2nd appearance of the season. A right-hander He'll deal with Kobe Mayo, 2 outs. O'Neill still at first base. And the first pitch, a fastball low at 93, 1-0. The Orioles have a 4-1 lead on 4 sacrifice flies. I can't remember the last time I saw that. 1-0 as Mayo takes a strike on the inner half. 1-1. Well, both teams will have an extra arm in Game 2, but at some point, given what the Blue Jays had to do last night to get through the game, you would think that someone's going to have to eat some innings here. Mayo, big swing and a miss at a very slow curveball. Really good pitch by Luzardo, about 20-mile-per-hour difference from the heat, and it's 1-2 to Mayo. Luzardo Estrada. Right-hander sets at the belt. His pitch, a curveball, hit a mile high in foul territory. Wagner, the third baseman, over. So is the catcher Sanchez. And it's right on top of the visiting dugout here at Camden Yards. And then it bounces into the stands. So Mayo is still alive. One and two to Kobe Mayo, who's been red hot. Estrada, his pitch. Mayo gets jammed and he fouls it out of play off to our right. Mayo on a stretch right now, 7 for 14 coming into today. 2 doubles, 2 homers, and 4 walks. Last night his first ever 3-hit game in the big leagues. The 1-2 pitch. That curveball stays high, 2-2.
Certainly going to be a lot of pressure on Eric Lauer, who will throw Game 2 for Toronto. He's been very good, but it's the problem you have when you bring up somebody to start Game 1 of a doubleheader and they struggle.
The 2-2 rolled foul. We've seen a lot of good at-bats recently from the Orioles, not only on the lack of chase and good takes, but fouling off good pitches. 2-2 to Mayo. This will already be the 8th pitch of this at-bat for Estrada right out of the Toronto pen. O'Neill still at first, being held by Guerrero. The pitch, swing and a miss. Mayo down on strikes, but the Orioles had 2 more. After 3, they lead this game 4-1 as we head to the 4th on the Orioles Radio Network.
98 Rock Night returns to Camden Yards on August 8th.
Meet and greet the 98 Rock Air.
Stottlemyre still wants somebody. There's Randy Johnson, the big unit. He towers over everybody. Randy's got to change his cap.
Oh, jeez. There you go. That looks better. Get that D-backs hat on, Randy.
News Radio.
Sharon Colton and the Orioles from Cowser's Corral fan section. This new fan section will be located in section 70 and 72 for select games. Fans receive an exclusive limited edition Cow bucket hat. Seats are limited. Buy yours today. Orioles.com/Cowser's Corral.
Moo. Charlie Morton has a 4-1 lead. Bo Bichette, the batter, leading off the top of the fourth. And Morton throws a two-seamer way outside 1-0. Final line on Easton Lucas, 2 2/3. 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, a strikeout. This curveball by Morton missed well outside, 2-0. 70 pitches, 42 strikes for Lucas. But pretty much the worst scenario for the Blue Jays in game 1 of a doubleheader. The 2-0. That pitch, a cutter dropped in there, 2-1. And on the heels of a day where Chris Bassett goes just 2 1/3. And then you're playing 2 today. The 2-1, down and away for a ball. A lot of movement on that curveball. That was the power hook, 3-1. Three and 1 to Bo Bichette. And that fastball's low, ball 4. A 5-pitch walk to begin this top of the fourth after the Orioles grabbed 2 more runs to build their lead. The fourth inning is brought to you by the Toyota RAV4. Visit your Baltimore area Toyota dealer today for great deals or shop online at buyatoyota.com. Addison Barger batting for the Blue Jays. I just tried to research this, Jeff. Barger hits us high in the air, deep center field. Mullins is back. He's at the track, turning around, and that's going to fly on out of here. A 2-run homer for Addison Barger puts Toronto right back in this game. It's a 4-3 Orioles lead. A walk and a homer. And now Baltimore ahead by a single run.
Second baseman number 22, Ernie Clement.
Ernie Clement will bat, but not the start Morton was hoping for here in the top of the fourth. Clement takes a strike with a cutter, 0-1. Just the leadoff walk when you have a 4-1 lead. But I was researching this, and I have my answer. And I'm very excited about it. Morton's 0-1. Ground ball on one hop to Westberg at second base. He's up with it on to first. And there's one out in the top of the fourth. The Orioles have 4 sacrifice flies in their first 3 offensive innings. That is a new club record for sacrifice flies in a game. Now, that's been sent to us. I'm trying to even widen this highly important investigative research I'm doing. I will say 4 sac flies in any game feels like a lot. And then 4 and 3, I mean, that's historic. So it's a new team record for sac flies in a game, Jeff. That has to make you excited.
You come to the ballpark every day, Brett, and not sure if you're going to, what you're going to see sometimes, but no, I mean, I think what really the key was, it's not so much the sacrifice fly, which you have to find ways to get in runs any way you can, but it's kind of what led to them being able to get the runs in, all the long at-bats that eventually drove Lucas out of the game.
Ground ball left side and beyond the dive of Henderson towards left center for a base hit. Mullins gets to it quickly, but Loper-Fido has a one-out single. So 3 of the first 4 have reached for Toronto in the top of the fourth, and now Will Wagner will bat. So big moment in this game. It's only the top of the fourth. Baltimore had a lead of 2-0 and 4-1. We saw Toronto make a move against the Orioles yesterday in a very similar point. There goes the runner from first. That's lined sharply foul. above the dugout for the Blue Jays. 0-1 to the batter. Almost sounded like Wagner broke his bat there. Morton's at 52 pitches, and the Orioles were able, and you made this point, Jeff, to really stem the tide yesterday, and it's really because of that Great Plains center by Cedric Mullins. Toss over to first, back with a dive is low Perfido. But that play, if that gets over Mullins, and if that's a home run, that game is tied at 6. And at that point, you have no idea how it's going to go.
I mean, I think that was one of the kickers, and that's how Zach Eflin described it. To him, he said it was the turning point of the game.
The 0-1. Looped into left center field, and that's down for a base hit. Cowser cuts it off. Racing to third base is Lo Perfido. Cowser's throw goes to second. First and third, just one out. As the first 4 of 5 have reached here in the top of the fourth against Morton. A base hit the other way for Will Wagner.
A really good piece of hitting. And, you know, when you, Brett, you go 63 and 44 in a season, it means you have some efforts like this where maybe you find yourself in a hole, but really bearing down. I mean, Toronto, they had just one hit through the first 3 innings against Charlie Morton, who was on the attack, but things in this inning all get started at that leadoff walk. Suddenly Barger hits the home run, 1-run game, and the tying run at third.
Squeeze play and a bunt foul by the catcher Sanchez towards the Orioles dugout, 0-1. A leadoff walk to Bichette, then the 2-run homer by Barger, then an out on a sharp ground ball to second base. Then back-to-back singles by Lo Perfido and Wagner. Sanchez, really an emergency catcher starting today. He doubled his first time up. And Morton, very similar to Eflin yesterday, they were cruising the first time through the order until they weren't. The 0-1. That's down the right field line, heading for the corner. O'Neill over, and it's off the netting down the line. A foul ball, and it's 0-2. I mean, they were cruising. And then, right around the same point in the game, it just changed. And to a larger point, and probably of concern to this Orioles front office, when you think every moment for Eflin and Morton's being watched by maybe 12 other teams, Eflin did not have a great outing yesterday, his second off the injury list. Morton's been so good for so long, I don't think a bad outing would dissuade many teams, but you never know. 0-2 to Ali Sanchez. Toss over to first, and back with a dive is Wagner. That pitch count now for Morton starting to climb here in the top of the fourth. He's at 55. Only one out. And after Sanchez, the big boys do up for the Blue Jays. Morton sets at the belt. His 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And he got him with a sinker to put him away. 2 down. And for every strikeout thrown by an Orioles pitcher this season, Autumn Lake Healthcare will make a donation to the Alzheimer's Association. Big second out, and now Nathan Lucas will bat. He's 0 for 2, a couple of ground ball outs. It was a big moment in this game. Baltimore had 4-3 in the top of the fourth.
Just a really good pitch there to Sanchez. A sinker that Morton started on the corner, and then he kind of tied Sanchez up.
Just Charlie's first strikeout. Lucas looks at a perfect curveball strike, 0-1. He's been a pretty good strikeout pitcher this year. Over 9 per 9 innings. So almost at a career number in recent years for Morton. He's averaging over 10 per 9.
It's still pretty impressive, 9 per 9.
The 0-1, way inside, almost hit him. A cutter as Lucas twists out of the way, 1-1.
Still pretty impressive. It's 9 per 9, Brett, considering that the curveball, which is his signature pitch, wasn't really working for the first month and a half of the season.
Also impressive because he's going to be 42 in November.
It's kind of a marvel in that at 41 years old, you're still seeing a guy throw 95 to 97.
But we have Keith Mills in the booth right now. You want to talk about marvels. This guy is like reverse Benjamin Button. He's getting younger and younger. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Fooled by a cutter right in the middle of the zone, 1-2.
kind of just want to know what Keith's workout plan is because, Brett, at this time of the year, feels like I'm carrying a spare tire around with me.
I've seen Keith Mills on television long before I knew him personally. As long back as I can remember, and he looks exactly the same. Exactly the same. He must have a cheat code somewhere. 1-2 to Lucas, first and third, 2 away, 2 in for Toronto. Here in the top of the fourth, Morton trying to put away Lucas. There goes the runner from first. The pitch is outside. Jackson throwing through. It's cut off by Henderson. Now played the plate, and it's an out at the plate, and that's out number 3. It was executed to perfection by the Orioles. They threw to second base. Henderson darts in front of the bag at second, and then fires a strike home to nail the runner at the plate. Lo Perfido out on a headlong slide. What a throw, what a tag, what a play. So the Orioles out of it in the top of the fourth. The Jays do get 2. It's now a 4-3 Baltimore lead as we head to
PSA dove in. Do we have them graded?
We do. This is the first set of graded cards from the 2024 Topps MLB Network set.
I'm so excited about this. Now, they all have the same grade, or
no?
So one of us will be like the highest graded card.
Could be. There could be multiple. So first up, we got Mark DeRosa.
Let's see what he was. Of course, D-Rose a 10 out of 10. Handsome, athletic. All right.
I'm Valerie Preactor. Tomorrow morning, I'll recap today's game with C4 and Brian Neiman on WBAL News Radio.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Orioles Radio Network.
WBAL, WIYY HD2 Baltimore. This is WBAL News Radio 1090 and FM 101.5.
Brett Hollander, Jeff Arnold, Alec Hildebido with you on a very hot and steamy day in downtown Baltimore. As we get going in the bottom of the fourth, the ball one delivered to Colton Cowser. Runner out of Cowser, 4-3 Orioles. Great play by Baltimore executed to end the top of the fourth. Luzardo Estrada, the first pitcher out of the Toronto pen. He was able to finish off the Orioles in the bottom of the third. The 1-0, down and in, right at the feet of Colton Cowser, 2-0. When you see that play, if you're Tony Mansolino, who's really all about defense and fundamentals, that must make him light up. The 2-0, down and in again, almost the same exact spot, 3-0. Game one of a doubleheader here. Thank you so much for being with us. If you're not here listening, it's probably more comfortable wherever you are, I imagine. You have some AC pumping. The 3-0. Cowser taking, and he takes ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. So Cowser on base, and now Alex Jackson will bat. Jackson, 0 for 1 so far today. You have to love his contact to damage ratio so far. 7 for 26 as an Oriole, 7 extra base hits. This is pulled down the left field line towards the corner, and it's foul. Not far away from a double there, not far away from a home run there. Right towards the pole down the line. 0-1 to Jackson. He was rounding first. He'll make the slow walk back to home plate. And that's what you call contact to damage. 7 hits, all extra base hits. 3 have left the ballpark. Orioles have to keep adding. Blue Jays will not go quietly. Oh, and 1 to Alex Jackson. Toss over to first. Cowser back with the dive. Westberg in the top of the order on deck. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Nasty slider there by Estrada. And it's 0-2. Sad news around Major League Baseball yesterday. The Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg passed away. One of the all-time great players of the 80s. Kind of the prototype for a big power hitting second baseman. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Jackson down on strikes. Hall of Famer, 10-time All-Star. Orioles will be going to Chicago after this series concludes, and the Cubs will come home Friday from a road trip. I imagine Friday afternoon at Wrigley Field in what was already going to be a sellout. And I'm guessing 3 sellouts on the north side of Chicago. That will be an emotional day for many Cubs fans. Westberg, the batter. Line drive base hit left center field. Cowser around second base. He stumbles a bit and now will walk back to second after he rounded the bag. Another hard hit ball for Westberg. He has 5 hits in 2 games. First and second, just 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th.
Now, when he gets into a little funk, Jordan Westberg really dials it in and just goes to work harder on his swing. And while he said yesterday it was a grind, maybe he found something in the cage because a bunch of hits, been on base quite a few times, still played really good defense. And, I think you can look at this season and you see where you are. And part of it can be attributed to not just the injuries, but who the injuries have come to. And Jordan Westberg, on and off the IL, it's been really tough.
Laureano, the batter. And he takes a strike on a slider from Estrada on 1. Both bullpens quiet right now. Orioles now have 5 hits. There's been a lot of traffic on the bases. First and second with 1 out. Half a swing and way too far in a slider there. That was a good one from Estrada. 0-2 with Henderson on deck. Right on right. And the pitch. Swing and a foul tip held onto by the catcher Sanchez. And on 3 pitches, Laureano is retired on strikes. 2 sliders and then a fastball on the inner part of the plate. I think Laureano tipped it into the mid of Sanchez. He did. So 2 outs, and it will be up to Henderson, who's walked and singled so far today. Now Sanchez, the Blue Jays catcher, signaling to his defense in case the Orioles want to try something here with speed on the bases. Be right on left as Henderson bats. It has been a power slump for Gunnar. Line drive into center field. Coming on is Lucas. He'll do a half leap, and he'll make the catch over his head. That ball was stung off the bat of Henderson, but it's a line drive out. 109 off the bat in the Orioles strand 2. We're 4 completed.
afternoons from 2 to 7. 98 Rock.
I'm meteorologist Ava Marie. Hear my forecast with C4 and Brian Neiman weekday mornings on WBAL News Radio.
Top of the fifth, Orioles have a 4-3 lead. It's been a lot of traffic for both teams and a lot of long at-bats. Game one of a doubleheader as the Blue Jays come to bat. Here's Jeff Arnold.
All right, Brett, thanks so much. 4 runs for the Orioles. And they've gotten their 4 runs on 5 hits and an error. 3-5-0 for Toronto as Morton fires and delivers a strike on a fastball at the top of the zone, 0-1. Nathan Lucas, who is at the plate after Alex Jackson fired through the 0-1, down and in, 1 ball and 1 strike, with the runner taking off and Wagner for second base, and then Henderson cut in front of the bag, threw home, and Loperfido was tagged out trying to score, and it ended the inning. But it was Toronto's best one yet. As Charlie Morton working with a 1-run lead, he deals on 1-1, and a curveball floated into left field. Colton Cowser a few steps to his right, and he makes the catch to open up the 5th inning. Will this be the last start that Charlie Morton has for the Orioles? We're going to wait and see. I think that no matter what happens, a lot of members of the pitching staff can take away from Morton just how to handle failure, because what he experienced at the start of the year was something he'd never experienced before. Right on right, Davis Schneider waves and misses at a breaking ball, 0-1, and Charlie Morton said something effective start of the year. I've been bad before, and I know it's bad, but I don't know how it's gotten this bad. And it all came down to rediscovering his curveball. The stuff for Morton has been good all year long. 0-1. Outside. On a fastball to Schneider. 1 ball and 1 strike. But for Charlie Morton, he had to figure something out. Eventually it clicked. But I also think for Morton there's a little bit of guilt just because of how he didn't pitch well at the start of the year. 1-1. Curveball, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and along with other players getting injured and not performing up to par, what it meant for this Orioles season and the direction that it ended up taking after the Orioles were so slow out of the gate. Hand over the headline, Morton's 1-2. Fastball is bounced on the ground at third, fielded fair by Urias, behind the bag, throws low to first. Nice stretch by Mayo, he picks it out of the dirt, and Schneider is retired. 2 outs here for Morton in the 5th. Orioles 4 and the Blue Jays 3. And now it's going to bring Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up there. And Morton, and he said this in an article in the Baltimore Banner, that he's not sure how to look at this year other than the team is a lot more capable of what they've been able to do this season. Here's the pitch to Guerrero. Offering is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. But at the same time, the way Morton didn't pitch well, but all the injuries and how yesterday, one of the few times this year that Westberg, Henderson, Rutschman, Cowser, Holiday have been in the lineup at the same time. The 1-0 floated foul back towards us, 1 ball and 1 strike. And when your young core, when they're not able to play together, and yesterday was the 8th time that they had all been in the lineup at the same time, it's going to tell you a lot about how your year is going. 4-3 Orioles, 2 outs, 1-1. Inside. On a changeup to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It is 2 balls and a strike. Guerrero grounded back to the pitcher his last time and then walked his first time. He has been red hot of late, the 2-1. That is off the fist in his shallow center. Henderson jumps, but it is past his grasp and into center field. Second time that Guerrero has reached, and it keeps the inning alive for Bo Bichette. I mean, Guerrero and Bichette have really carried the Blue Jays in the month of July. With Guerrero being one of the best hitters in baseball since the All-Star break, hitting for a little bit more power, and then Bo Bichette having a bounce-back year. He walked and scored in the 4th as the leadoff walk in the last inning what got it going. Pitch here, driven foul right side by Bichette, 0-1, who will be a free agent after this year. And I'm sure is excited for the prospect of a nice payday. Kel Joseph, who spent some time with his pregame, one of the other things that he said is the best players, when they know that their free agency is coming, they tend to find another gear. And that's what Bichette is doing. 0-1, a pop-up. Right side, Westberg battling the Sun glove up towards his face. He loses the ball. It drops in front of O'Neill, who was coming on. As Guerrero makes it to third, Bichette holds on at first base. It is a base hit for Bichette, but immediately as that ball was popped up, Jordan Westberg's glove went right towards his face as he battled the Sun. He started to go back, but it was too late in which he located it. He also had O'Neill coming on, but it fell between him and Westberg. First and third now, and the Blue Jays have the tying run at third base and the go-ahead run at first. A chance here for Addison Barger, who had a 2-run homer earlier on. A huge spot in this game with Charlie Morton nearly at 75 pitches. He pitches, and a curveball strike. Bends over the outside corner. It's 0-1. Now, when you have an instance where a fielder loses a ball in the Sun, then it goes down as a base hit. You can't call that an error if the fielder can't see the ball. 0-1. Fouled off at home plate. No balls and 2 strikes against Barger. I mean, just ask about that Trey Mancini inside the park home run where Josh Lowe lost it in the Sun. Maybe with the help of Mo Gaba from above. And by the way, yesterday, Mo Gaba Day, Orioles have been undefeated on Mo Gaba Day. Continued yesterday, 0-2 offering in the dirt as it's blocked by Alex Jackson. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On the play, Guerrero got to third base after Bichette flared it into shallow right field and it was lost in the Sun. Henderson pinched up the middle at short. Westberg over to second. Runner held on at first. 1-2. High. And maybe a touch outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes against Addison Barger, who, when he gets hits, they tend to be of the extra base variety. Morton does not want that to occur here. 2-2 the count. The 41-year-old sets his pitch, and it's grounded foul. Over the first base dugout, it's still 2-2. Originally Barger, 6th round pick by the Toronto Blue Jays in the 2018 draft. He was committed to the University of Florida before Toronto could talk him into signing with their ball club. It's 2-2. Morton ready to go. 4-3 Orioles, top 5. Pitch on the way. Cut and a miss. He struck him out on a fastball peeling away at 96. Hard sinker gets Barger. And despite the Sun-aided single by Bichette, the tying run left at third for Toronto and the go-ahead run left at first. We're halfway through game 1 of the doubleheader. Orioles 4, Blue Jays 3.
Hank Greenberg helped popularize the first baseman's mitt, holding a massive 13-inch pocketed glove. That was quickly banned, reducing the maximum size to 12 inches. Paul Richards also developed a black hole-sized catcher's mitt. This ginormous thing, measuring 42 inches in circumference, was known as Big Bertha, or the Elephant, for its massive size. It was swiftly outlawed as well.
Import, Chicago, Illinois.
I'm Brian Neiman. Join me weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 with C4 on WBAL Radio.
It's the bottom half of the fifth inning, and the Orioles clinging to a one-run lead after Toronto got a pair in the fourth. They had two base runners on, but Charlie Bourne struck out Addison Barger to get out of the inning. Here's Tyler O'Neill right side, and he swings first ball and pops it up. In foul territory, Guerrero. Does he have room? No. It lands beyond the Orioles' dugout, and the count is 0-1. Lazaro Estrada worked around a couple of base runners in his last inning and is going to be asked to provide some length after Easton Lucas, who started for Toronto, chased after giving up 4 runs in 2 2/3 innings. Orioles really worked Lucas over and have produced all 4 of their runs. The Orioles have via the sacrifice fly. 0-1 the count. Estrada to the play, and his fastball a strike. At the top of the zone, no balls and 2 strikes. Now, Estrada, he's got some good bloodlines. He's Cuban. His dad, Federico, pitched part of 5 years in the Cuban National Series, the 0-2 down and away 1-2, which is the top baseball league in Cuba. He has an uncle who is a center fielder, also playing in the Cuban National Series, and won a couple of gold medals with the Cuban national team. 1-2 pitch. Down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And so for Estrada, he kind of knew that baseball was going to be in his future. Initially, he chose to play second base. Then he went to the outfield. But when he took the mound for the first time at age 16, that's when everyone figured out what his future was. 2-2 outside. And the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. And what it appears from some of the scouting reports that we've read, maybe the fastball's not overpowering, but there's something about it that seems like hitters don't adjust to very well. Full count here against O'Neill, who has walked and hit a sac fly. Payoff. Hit in the air, foul off to the right side. And O'Neill to see a 7th pitch out of Lazaro Estrada. Now O'Neill trying to keep it rolling. Getting more time in the cage to maintain his swing. He's been able to stay away from the IL as there's a line drive into center field, base hit. So he comes through, getting a 3-2 fastball and shooting it right back through the origin. Leadoff man is on base for Ramon Urias.
The Downtown Scoreboard, Jeff, is presented by Navy Athletics. Season tickets are on sale now, featuring 6 home games starting August 30th versus VMI. Experience the pageantry of Navy football. Tickets at NavySports.com. There are no other games going on right now. The Orioles, of course, will play one after this. First pitch set for 6:35. We'll be on the air at 6 o'clock.
Here's the pitch to Ramon Urias. And Estrada delivers a slider strike. As the top of the zone, it's 0-1. And plenty of time for you to take a nap between games there, Brett?
You think so?
Can't be a long nap, but you can still rest your eyes. The set in the 0-1. Cut and a miss. For a slider again, 0-2.
This thing may wrap up right around 6:05.
Yeah, I will say, Brett, the 3rd and 4th innings might be the 2 longest innings you have called all year. Game has moved at a slow pace. Orioles a 1-run lead, 0-2, bottom 5, nobody out. 0-2. In the air, right field. Barger glides back. He's got some room, and he makes the catch 6 or 7 feet in front of the track. Urias retired, and with 1 out, it's going to send Cedric Mullins up to the plate.
Not a great day for physical exercise for us, Jeff. Pretty stationary since about 9:30 this morning, and likely will remain this way until about 10:30 this evening.
The kicker is, in the time between games 1 and 2, you can't overeat. You can't let the day get away from you. The pitch. Offering is inside, 1 ball and no strikes. There's a tendency when you have a split doubleheader to do a little too much snacking between games.
Well, we have that a lot of times when we have extended rain delays. That temptation's always there to pass the time.
Listen, I'll be your accountability partner if you'll be mine. Here's a 1-0. Offering as a strike at the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike, which is, frankly, that's a terrible idea for you.
What was double headers like in the minor leagues for you?
Fast. No split double headers there. It was straight on through. And you'd get 7-inning games. The 1-1. Hit deep out to right field. Barger at the high wall. Will this have enough? No, it won't. It's off the top part of the wall as it's played by Barger. Throws into the cutoff man. O'Neill makes it to third, and Cedric Mullins has got himself a double. He just keeps on hitting. Cedric Mullins, 2 RBIs already, both via the sacrifice fly, and he just added a double here. So the Orioles have them at second and third against Estrada. And Kobe Mayo is about ready to bat.
I think Mullins hit that off the end of the bat and got way under it, but enough to carry just out of the reach of the right fielder Barger. Huge opportunity for the Orioles. They've already set a record, by the way, a franchise record with 4 sacrifice flies in one game. The game is still very young, so it's kind of amazing. And also, the Orioles, and this is also interesting to me, Jeff, in Orioles history, they've hit 3 sacrifice flies in a single game 36 times, which to me feels like a very low number going back to 1954.
Well, the Major League record for most sacrifice flies in a game is 5. And the Orioles, who have that franchise record that you're talking about, very well could get another one here from Kobe Mayo. I think what you'd really like from Mayo, though, is just to blow the doors off of this thing. Find a way to get an extra base hit, which score a couple of runs. 1 out. Blue Jays infield in. 4-3 Orioles. Last of the 5th. 1 away. Pitch. Big breaking ball. A strike over the inside. To Mayo, it's 0-1. And lately, Kobe Mayo, he has been on time with everything. He hits with O'Neill at third and Mullins at second base. Estrada from the stretch, 0-1. Here's the pitch to Mayo. Fouls it back, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. And he will get a lot of time the rest of the way. He's moved back a few inches in the box. He's trying to stay back a little bit longer at the swing. Mayo has said that sometimes he can get a little jumpy when he's up there. And by being a little more calm in the batter's box, it's allowed him to see the ball better and make harder contact. 4 3-0s, 0-2, 1 out. Next pitch. Mayo chased on a fastball that was up and away. And that is not the type of swing you've seen from Kobe Mayo much of late. And that fastball was way too high and maybe outside. But Mayo goes after it. 2 outs, still second and third. And Colton Cowser had a home run yesterday. He is going to get a chance to bat here. The Orioles have gone just 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position in the game. Pitch on the way. Backdoor breaking ball, a strike into Cowser. It's 0-1, which has been a departure really of what we've seen. 4 for 10 yesterday with runners in scoring position. And that huge game on Saturday where the Orioles were 11 for 19 against Colorado. 0-1. Way outside. Split missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Cowser would love to provide a hit that could drive in 2 runs and help the Orioles lead grow from just a run. One ball, 1 strike here against Cowser. Pitch in. Cut and a miss. Had a fastball that was middle away, but was not able to make contact. A ball and 2 strikes now against Colton Cowser. And despite the homer yesterday, just 4 for his last 31, though if you go back to the middle part of June, he's actually hit pretty well in spots like these. Outfield is straight away. Infield is back. O'Neill and Mullins lead from third and second respectively. 1-2 pitch, cut and a miss. It was the split. So quite a job done there by Lazaro Estrada as he strikes out Mayo and Cowser back to back, and despite the Orioles getting runners at second and third, not able to score.
someone who grew up in the era of the twist, the locomotion, the Freddy, and other outrageous dances, the floss is easily the worst of all time.
The fan did touch that ball, and that's a big whoops. Any relation to Grant? I don't know. That guy was having a hard time figuring out what screen he was supposed to be looking at.
What a play! Alan Roden! And hopefully he is all right.
Look at it's his eye black. That's his eye black. It has been transferred from face to wall.
That's saveonfuel.net for more information.
The home of the Orioles, WBAL News Radio.
Lazaro Estrada pitches into a little traffic and then gets out of it with consecutive strikeouts of Mayo and Kalzer. So it remains a one-run Orioles lead, 4-3 over Toronto. We begin the sixth, then back to Brett.
Thank you, Jeff. Ernie Clement leading off for the Blue Jays, and he looks at a curveball that missed away, 1-0. Orioles up a run, but they've already left on 7 today, and just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. A 1-0, slow breaking ball, and it's tapped foul past the third base coach's box. 1 ball and 1 strike. Clement, Loperfido, and Will, don't call him Ben Wagner, 2 up in this Toronto sixth. The 1-1, curveball hit to shortstop. Henderson in the deep hole, fires to first in time. He got him by a step. Gunnar has made it look easy these days at shortstop. I think Gunnar Henderson's playing the best defense of his major league career these days. 1 away, back at Charlie Morton.
Well, Brett, we have some people checking in with us. Let's Gabba Go, I hope I'm saying that right, is listening from sunny Indian Shores, Florida. They have got their feet up on a nice chair on the beach.
Curveball outside, 1-0 to Loperfido. We've been getting a lot of beach pictures recently.
And it makes us, I think, a little jealous.
Yep. I was surprised the other day we didn't get any pool pictures. There's a strike. Good fastball by Morton at 94 miles per hour, 1-1. Morton right now at 84 pitches. The Orioles bullpen quiet. You'd love to squeeze this one out of Charlie with the doubleheader on tap. Down and away for a ball. 2-1.
Chris is checking in from the road. He says, riding with you all for the next few hours, back from the beach, and to the bird bath Wednesday.
It'll be a good day for it. Strike there right on the outside corner, 2-2.
By the way,
great day for it.
By the way, Kendall Matthews, who knows that we're doing the doubleheader today, says both of you are true gamers. See, that's what I like to hear.
Please don't inflate Jeff's ego. I still can't believe we're paid to do this.
Amen.
Hopefully they don't figure it out anytime soon. The 2-2 found out a play off to the left. It remains 2-2. To Joey Loperfido. It's a fun name to say. Off to a good start this year in limited opportunities. We're called by Toronto on July 6th. The 2-2. That curveball's low, 3-2. Last year he was with Houston and Toronto, 81 games between those two clubs. At just 214, came over to the Blue Jays in the Kikuchi trade. The 3-2 pitch. That is slashed into left field, a base hit. Towards the foul line, down the line. Kalzer gets to it quickly. Loperfido has another single, and he's a one-out base runner.
And Loperfido was basically 1 year to the day. He was traded July 30th of last year, so he's been with Toronto for 1 year in that Yusei Kikuchi deal. And Loperfido, nice here at AAA. He's really done well with Toronto since coming back up to the major leagues.
Will Wagner will bat. And Loperfido, good minor league numbers. strike on the outside corner, including power numbers. Originally a 7th-round pick by Houston out of Duke in 21. On 1 to Wagner. Another curveball. This one a little too far outside, 1-1. And now there is some throwing in the Orioles' pen. Yanier Cano getting loose for Baltimore. Loper Fido on at first, being held by Mayo. Toss over to first on a quick pickoff attempt, and back with a dive is Loper Fido. Orioles have a 4-3 lead. Game 1 of a doubleheader. We're in the top of the 6th. Charlie Morton trying to get 2 more outs in what could be the final frame of his very brief Orioles career. Fastball, just high. Good zip on it, but it was just north of the strike zone. Charlie wanted that one. It's 2-1. Whatever the Orioles decide to do with Morton, wherever he ends up going, that's a good pickup for any team. The 2-1. Low, 3-1. There aren't too many starting pitching options. Most teams right now looking to add depth to their rotation and probably some experience. Well, Morton certainly has the latter, and he has a ton of postseason experience. 3-1 to Will Wagner. The pitch by Morton. Slow tapper foul towards the Orioles dugout, 3-2. Morton has pitched in 18 playoff games, 17 of those starts, and 4 World Series games alone, and he has 2 rings to his name. There's just not a lot of that out there on the open market. And that pitch count rapidly climbing now. It's at 94. The 3-2. There goes the runner from first. And this is fouled. Out of play off to the left. We'll do it again. Loper Fido is moving. Charlie Morton, who debuted in the major leagues all the way back on June 14, 2008. There goes the runner again, and that's ball 4. First and second, just 1 away. And the number 9 batter, Ali Sanchez, will come to the plate.
Catcher number 20.
This is right on
Sanchez.
right. You have Cano getting ready in the Baltimore pen. The left-handed batter, Nathan Lucas, is on deck. And right now, there's just not a bevy of options in the Orioles bullpen. You really just can't match up plainly the way you would like, particularly in a doubleheader scenario. Morton's pitch into left field. It backs up Cowser. Cowser reaches up. He'll make the catch on the warning track. That ball was tagged, but on one pitch, Morton gets an out, and there's 2 away.
And he's got to deal with Nathan Lucas here, who's been dangerous hitter, does not have any hits today. But the other thing you have to factor in too, Brett, is that if you pitch in one game, you generally don't pitch in the second game of a doubleheader unless it's really quick. And so for that reason, you have to be careful if you're Tony Mansolino about how you use your bullpen. And just like last time in Cleveland, with Morton nearing the end of his line, they're going to see if he can make it through 6.
Lucas, the batter. And he takes a curveball wide of the strike zone outside 1-0. Typically the mindset, try and win game 1 and then deal with game 2 later. They obviously map it out to some degree, I think, especially on the position player front, as best you can. 1-0 to Lucas. First and second, 2 away. The pitch by Morton. Fastball dots the outside corner at 96. Best heat of the day for Morton. It's 1-1. Loper Fido's at second. Wagner's at first. Charlie Morton delivers 1-1. Ground ball right side. Westberg right there in a perfect spot. Lob toss to first. That's that. Charlie Morton, a quality start in game 1 of this doubleheader as he walks off to the mound to a nice ovation here at the ballpark. Charlie Morton, what a turnaround this year for the Baltimore.
Network. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Offer valid through 10/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Purchase of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required for offer. Must activate the plan in-store at Walmart. Cannot be combined with other offers.
I'm TJ Smith. Join me weekdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Midday Show on WBAL News Radio.
The sixth inning is brought to you by PNC. Patience is a winning strategy in baseball and banking. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. 4-3 Orioles, bottom of the sixth. Alex Jackson leading off against Estrada, and Estrada drills Jackson on the first pitch. First pitch, got him right in the front side, on the shoulder area. A leadoff base runner for the Orioles. Estrada has really settled things down, relieving Easton Lucas, who just had a laborious 2 2/3. That's a leadoff base runner, though, as Westbrook bats and a swing and a miss. Perfect slider. It's been really good from Estrada. That hit by pitch, the one that's gotten away so far for him. But Charlie Morton, a lot of hugs in that dugout. That skips in 1-1. Everyone coming up to Morton, congratulating him on his outing. He emptied the tank right there. A job well done for Morton. Has a chance to get his 7th win as an Oriole and go 7-1 over a 14-game stretch. The 1-1. That's low for a ball. 2-1 after the Orioles were 0-12 the first 12 times he touched the ball this year, either as a starter or a reliever. Quite a turnaround. Jackson leads him first, right on right here. 2-1 to Westberg. Orioles ahead 4-3. Ground ball hit to third base very sharply. Bobbled by Wagner at third. He goes to second for one. Relay on to first. Not in time. Ball was hit hard to third base. It was bobbled by Wagner, the third baseman. It cost him the double play, one away, as Jackson is erased.
Designated hitter number 12, Ramon Laureano.
Here's Ramon Laureano. Ramon Laureano bats. Baltimore up a run. Cano continues to warm in the Baltimore pen as Laureano takes a ball just in 1-0. It's quiet right now behind Estrada. He has really been able to quiet down the Orioles' bats. That's Gibson, blocked by the catcher Sanchez, able to keep it in front of him with a backhand. 2-0. Estrada back of Lucas, saving this Jays bullpen after their starter yesterday, Chris Bassett, went just 2 1/3, and then Lucas goes 2 2/3, game one of a doubleheader. This is exactly what the Blue Jays needed, desperately. The pitch. That's a strike. A slider top of the zone. That one hovered a bit. 2 balls and 1 strike to Laureano, who's 1 for 3 so far today. That one drilled Laureano. Second hit by pitch of the inning. Laureano gets drilled. First and second with just 1 out. Well, can't imagine there's any intent on that one. He's hit 2 batters this inning. Has to be mentioned what happened last night in the 9th. A very scary and unfortunate situation as Pete Walker, the Jays pitching coach, will walk out to the mound here. You had Cade Stroud, the young Orioles reliever, and George Springer, such a accomplished major leaguer in the head. Springer had to get further testing after the game. He's not in the starting lineup here in game 1. Everyone's hoping he is okay, but it was a very scary scene. He never lost consciousness last night. But anytime the next day you see 2 guys get hit, and the first pitch of the inning, I thought that was a little peculiar, but then here one gets away. There's no way Estrada wants to make it first and second. And let's not forget that last year, Yariel Rodriguez pitching game 1 of a doubleheader for Toronto hit James McCann in the face.
If I recall correctly, Brett, the conditions that day were pretty similar to what they are today. 97 degrees at first pitch, but much hotter down in the field. And I think for Lazaro Estrada, some of it might be trying to grip the baseball. I mean, he's going to that rosin bag behind the mound just to try and get a better feel. But in the meantime, he's made a little mess for himself with 2 on base for Gunnar Henderson.
Orioles just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They've left 7 on, trying to add to their 1-run lead. Right on left, Henderson takes a ball in just off the plate. A four-seamer at 95, 1-0 to Gunnar, who's walked, singled, and then smoked a ball on a frozen rope to center field. That was caught. Just 1 out here. Great opportunity. The pitch to the gap in left center field, and that will split the defenders. It's in there for a base hit. Westberg jogs in from third base. He will score, and the Orioles are up 5-3. A base hit the other way for Henderson as he continues to deliver with runners in scoring position. Baltimore now with a 2-run lead. Laureano gets to third base. First and third with just 1 away. Henderson is 39th run batted in. And now O'Neill will bat. He has hit a sacrifice fly. He has walked and he has singled. So 3 productive plate appearances for Tyler O'Neill. See if the Orioles want to get Henderson in motion here. He's being held by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Toss over to first. Jays think something's up as Henderson gets back to the bag. Gunnarson's June 1 now over 500 with runners in scoring position. That is ridiculous. Ridiculously good. Orioles up a couple. O'Neill in the air, left center field and deep. Lucas is back. He's at the wall, and that baby's gone. Tyler O'Neill does it again. An Earl Weaver special here at Camden Yards. Tyler O'Neill homers in his 4th consecutive game. 8-3 Baltimore.
Yeah, that's a new career high for O'Neill, Brett. 4 straight games with a homer, something he'd never done before. And he's got 4 homers in 4 games after he had just 3 in his previous 34 games before this impressive home run streak.
A new man. And the Orioles have scored 4 times here in the bottom of the 6th as Estrada gets a strike 1 to Ramon Urias into the Baltimore bullpen. A 3-run shot plates Laureano, Henderson, and O'Neill. That's a ball down low, 1-1. 5-run Orioles lead. Orioles 11 runs last night. 18 runs Saturday. And already 8 runs here in just the bottom of the 6th. Urias to center field and deep. That one has some carry. Lucas is back, and that baby's gone. Back to back go the Orioles. That one just kept on going. 9-3 Baltimore. And for Urias, number 7. We were talking about all the runs the Orioles have been scoring. Really, since last Friday, it's been nonstop. Mullins will bat as the Orioles start to pound Estrada. Curveball's high to Cedric, 1-0. A 5-run 6 for Baltimore. And still no action in the Toronto pen, so Estrada's going to have to wear this. A 1-0. Swing and a foul in and out of the mitt of the catcher Sanchez, 1-1. Well, if the Orioles wanted some revenge on a couple hit by pitches, they certainly got it.
First 2 homers that Lazaro Estrada has allowed in his big league career was just his 2nd game.
Grounded foul, first base side by the Orioles dugout, 1-2.
I mean, and now for Estrada, who's at 58 pitches, most of his outings have been starts at AAA. For the Blue Jays, I mean, where they are right now, down by 6 runs, it is going to just be eat up innings and try and save as many of your key guys as you can for game 2.
What a turn of events. Just one away in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-2 low. Good take by Mullins. They appeal to third base. No swing. And no official appeal. That was just the catcher Sanchez asking for one. 2-2 to Cedric. Look at this lineup these last few games. You can't help to think what could have been for the healthy ball club. The 2-2. Mullins hits this very sharply. Right back at home plate. Right under us. Kicks up around the press box. Orioles now 9 runs on 10 hits. A day after they scored 11 runs on 16 hits. The 2-2. That's a pop-up, shallow left center. Late start for the left fielder, Loperfido. He's racing, he dives, and he can't make the catch. And Mullins will streak into second. Loperfido made an awkward slide for it. He had it for a moment, and then when he finished the slide, I think it popped out of his glove, and Mullins doing what he always does. Hustling all the way, never stopped running. He winds up in scoring position with a bloop double. Yeah, he caught it firmly in his glove, and then as he rolled, it came out of his glove. Jeff, I wonder if you could argue that's an out. He had it in his mitt and then rolled. It was firmly in his mitt, and then eventually it popped out. But a double for Cedric. Here's Mayo, and he looks at ball 1-1-0. This misery continues for Estrada, who was mowing him down for a while, but not anymore. And finally, action in the Toronto pen.
I mean, Brett, when it comes to a catch, there's no time limit on it. You don't get to have a ball for X number of seconds.
Do you have to make a football move once you have it in your mitt?
I mean, I guess you have to survive the ground is what we learned there.
The 1-0. Strike there, 1-1.
I mean, it's one thing if you're taking the ball out of your glove, but in that case, as he was rolling, trying to hold on to the ball, it popped out, and letter of the law, that is not a catch.
1-1 to Mayo. Big swing and a foul tip into the mitt of Sanchez, 1-2. I think as the season goes on, Tyler O'Neill may make a lot of new friends around Baltimore. Chad Green, a leverage reliever, warming up for Toronto, down by 6. Mayo hits this high in the air, left center field, Loperfido over towards the gap, very shallow, and he makes the catch. Out number 2, Mayo retired. He may make so many friends he never even knew he had in the months ahead if he keeps hitting him like this. The home run by O'Neill. That's the long drive of the game, brought to you by your local Baltimore area Honda dealers. Contact your local Baltimore area Honda dealer for a great deal today. Ninth batter of the inning coming up. It's going to be Colton Cowser, right on left. Mullins still at second. Orioles ahead 9-3. Looks at a curveball low. 1-0. Orioles now with 133 home runs. With the 2 this inning. The 1-0. Cowser hits this to shallow center field. A late start for Lucas, and it lands right in front of him, and Mullins will score. A broken bat blue base hit for Colton Cowser. Everything turning up orange on a Tuesday afternoon at the ballpark. Mullins scores. Orioles ahead 10-3. The home run count is brought to you by Ground Loop Geothermal. This season, not all the magic is on the field, but under. Let the ground you walk on heat and cool your home. That is a crooked number 6 on the scoreboard in this bottom of the 6th for the Orioles. Alex Jackson got it going here after being hit by a pitch. He is the 10th Oriole to bat in this bottom of the 6th. 12 hits now for the Orioles. Cowser leads from first as Jackson takes a strike. Let's do some math here, Jeffrey. The Orioles on Saturday scored 18 times. 5 times on Sunday, plus 11 last night, and 10 today. You can phone a friend. Swing and a miss. 0-2 to Jackson.
I was told there would be no math.
Well, I'm asking you to do some math. Getting the phone out. 18 plus 5 plus 11 plus 10.
44?
I guess. I have no idea. The 0-2. Jackson takes in the dirt. Sanchez recovers after it gets away from him for a moment. 1-2. And Friday, the Orioles hit. They lost the game, but they had a lot of home runs on Friday. It has just been an offensive barrage as of late. 1-2 to Alex Jackson. The pitch. That's outside. 2-2. Ten to 3 Orioles. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Jackson is down on strikes. He began the frame with a hit-by pitch. He ends the frame with a strikeout. But in between, 6 Orioles runs. A 3-run homer by O'Neill. A solo shot to follow by Urias. 10 to 3 Baltimore as we head to the 7th in Game 1 of a doubleheader on the Orioles Radio Network.
Ground Loop Heating and Air and Water Furnace Geothermal, a great partnership. Want to learn more from one of the most experienced...
What else going to happen today? Henderson's bat goes flying into the stands on a strikeout.
And that's not good right there. See Andy looking at it like, hey, not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, stick to basketball there, right?
Oh, no catch. Love to get that one back. Alonso lost the bat as he flung at that high fastball.
That's going to keep him up tonight. Can't make that catch.
You got to keep that clean, right? You got to catch that.
We have hit the 7th inning. 10-3 Orioles after an explosion in the bottom of the 6th. The 7th inning is brought to you by the Maryland Mortgage Program. 7 steps to home ownership. Start your journey at mmp.maryland.gov. Yanier Cano, he will come out of the Orioles bullpen to relieve Charlie Morton, who was very good today, earning a quality start in line for a win. But the day is over and out for Charlie Morton, who does this incredible 180 this season. David Schneider, the batter for Toronto, and it's a strike one from Cano. 0-1. Morton goes 6. 8 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Line drive, base hit, left field. Clean single to left by Schneider. And that's how the outing begins for Yanier Cano. Morton did give up a home run in this game. And for the 5th time this season, goes 100 pitches. What the Orioles are hoping for right now, they need 9 defensive outs, and that's no drama. Time is called by Henderson and Urias on the left side of the infield. It's granted by the third base umpire, Brian Walsh. Must have found something in the grass, put in Brian Walsh's pocket. And now play will resume. But no drama, Mama, as our old friend Scott Garceau would say. That is the last thing anyone wants. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Orioles have a chance to take game 1, and then who knows, possibly sweep the hottest team in baseball in a doubleheader and then outright win a 4-game set. Ball 1 to Guerrero. It's amazing the Orioles could have that opportunity. It was shocking. The 1-0. Fly ball, right center field, medium depth. O'Neill, the right fielder, calling for it. He's there, and he makes the catch one away. Guerrero retired. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Orioles Radio Network.
WBAL, WIYY HD2 Baltimore. This is WBAL News Radio 1090 and FM 101.5.
Brett Hollander, Jeff Arnold, Big Al, Alec Hildebido with you at Oriole Park at Camden Yards on a day where the on-field temperature nearing 110. Game 1 of a doubleheader, game 2 of a 4-game set. Cano delivers strike 1 to Bo Bichette. 0-1 with 1 away in the top of the 7th. 10-3 Orioles. But the Orioles just a few weeks ago swept a doubleheader against a really good Mets team. That was shocking. And this would be shocking considering how good the Blue Jays have been for an extended period. Ground ball at the shortstop. Henderson has it to second for 1, on to first. Make that 2. A double play. Cano induces the 6-4-3 tailor-made ground ball double play. I did say everything's turning up.
Today the world smiles at
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
It's a 5-man umpiring crew here today in this young superstar.
And did their feet get tangled up? Yes, so Hoppy Tritt, they got their feet tangled up before the ball came down.
That goes helicoptering into the net. Beats Proctor.
And that ball is off the ladder. It's actually off the ladder. You never see that.
A little tumble behind the mound. Hat fell off. That was awesome. I mean, you just don't see that.
The beauty of this jersey is the field, the texture, the thin, the stitching is heavy, so you kind of feel that jersey that was very heavy. Check it out, the last name and the number, they have a little glitter on them, so they kind of stack up. It just feels right. I had some really cool cleats to go with it. The way it gets dirty when you...
Hider of your Baltimore Orioles, the veteran Chad Green out of the Toronto Pen.
For your Orioles, second baseman number 11.
Their second reliever back of Easton Lucas. Orioles lead this game 10-3. Top of the order up. Jordan Westberg strolling to the plate for a 5th time here in the bottom of the 7th. Right on right. Westberg fights this off and fouls out of play off to the right. For Lazaro Estrada, he got off to a really good start back of the starter Lucas, but in the end goes 3 1/3, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts. He allowed 2 homers and hit 2 batters. The 0-1, a strike there, 0-2 to Jordan Westberg, who's having a fine day. 5 hits over his last 2 games. Scored twice today, too, after starting the bottom of the first with a double and then a single in the 4th. 0-2 to Westberg. Green comes home. That heater high. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball left side. Diving attempt by the third baseman Wagner, but it's off his glove. It will trickle towards the bag at second, and that will be an infield hit for Westberg. For Jordan, it's his 3rd hit of the game, back-to-back 3-hit games for Westberg, and the Orioles have another base runner and another hit. Here's Laureano. Laureano looks at one high, 1-0. Ramon Laureano pops it up foul out of play off to the right. One and one. With Westberg leading from first. The pitch by Green. Ground ball towards the middle. That's through. It's past the dive of the shortstop, Bichette. Another Orioles hit. First and second, and nobody out. Wow. And for the Orioles, the hits just keep on coming. Toronto has now allowed 10 runs or more in their last 3 games. They have not done that since the middle of September in 2020. Here's Henderson. Gunnar has walked, singled, lined out very sharply to center, and then had an RBI single. That was a big play in this game. Gave the Orioles a 5-3 lead. Gunnar, deep fly ball, right center field, way back there, and that baby's gone! A 3-run homer for Henderson, and the Orioles are beating the Blue Jays up. It is a Baltimore rout over the first-place Blue Jays. Gunnar Henderson to the bleachers in right center. Some 420 feet later, see you later. 13-3 Baltimore. Another Earl Weaver special. Good golly, Miss Molly. O'Neill is swinging a miss on one. Still nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. I'm going to spend our limited time in between games, one, resting the voice, Jeffrey, as O'Neill takes the ball 1-1, and then doing some serious math over the hits and runs and home runs and extra base hits these Orioles have delivered. And for Gunnar, it's a long-awaited number 12. Up and in. That's a ball. 2-1. This is not against the Colorado Rockies. This is a team that's pitched really well this year. The Blue Jays came into this series with a bullpen ERA of 3.66. That has been destroyed. O'Neill hits this foul back to the bricks. 2-2. The Orioles are just dismantling these Blue Jays. 15 hits so far today, 13 runs. That's high for a ball, 3-2. They scored 6 times in the 6th. They have 3 here in the 7th, and there's nobody out. The Orioles were piecing together some runs early in this game. In fact, what a strange game. They set a franchise record for sacrifice flies with 4. They did that in the first 3 innings. Swing and a miss by O'Neill. He's down on strikes. And this great dichotomy of just manufacturing runs, team baseball, and then since then it's been thunder.
And you know what, Brett, that's typically what it has been for the Orioles against Toronto. Saw this. If you go back to the start of last year, the Orioles, if you add the home runs they've hit today, have now hit 49 homers in 21 games against Toronto, going back to last year.
Urias powers one to left field. That's hit well. Back goes Loperfido. Bye-bye baseball. Ramon Urias into the seats and left. I can get used to this. Second home run of the game for Ramon. And the Orioles are up 11.
So
14-3 Baltimore.
So make that 50 home runs now, Brett, 21 games against Toronto. Going back to last year, I mean, the Orioles average probably about a home run every 14 or so at-bats against Toronto this year, and that's usually how they get all the runs. It's not usually via sacrifice fly.
Mullins, the batter, he chips his foul down the left field line on one. I got to start working on some new home run calls. By the way, for Henderson, that was his first home run since July the 10th. Also game 1 of a doubleheader as Mullins looks at one low, 1-1. Goodness. 1-1 to Cedric. He pops this up, left center field. Loperfido under it towards the gap, and he'll make the catch out number 2. And that 3-run homer by Henderson, that was today's Johns Hopkins Medicine breakthrough play. For more than a century, urologists at Johns Hopkins Medicine have pioneered breakthrough treatments for conditions such as prostate cancer, erectile dysfunction, and kidney stones. Find world-class care at hopkinsmedicine.org/urology. Second career multi-homer game for Ramon Urias. Mayo trying to get in on the action. He fouls one back behind home plate, 0-1.
Ready for your scorecard to get a little messier?
No.
Blue Jays, well, tough. You're going to have to deal with it. Blue Jays made a bunch of changes defensively. Addison Barger, he's now at third. Ernie Clement is at short.
Strike there to Mayo, 0-2.
The second baseman is Leo Jimenez. The first baseman is Will Wagner. Nathan Lucas is in right. Miles Straw's in center.
Foul back behind home plate, off the netting, 0-2.
And John Schneider, you're mean.
Who's in center?
Miles Straw. They've taken Bichette and Guerrero out of the game, give those guys a rest.
Who's at short?
Ernie Clement.
What's on second?
That would be a Leo Jimenez.
I don't know who's on third. That pitch is outside, 1-2.
Addison Barger.
We're doing some Abbott and Costello now. We've crossed over in a 14-3 game. Work with me here, Jeff. Work with me. The 1-2. Flared into center field. It will hang up for Straw. He'll make a running grab towards right center, but the Orioles score 4 more times. A 3-run bomb by Gunnar Henderson, and then a solo shot by Urias. The Orioles are just destroying the Toronto Blue Jays. 14-3 as we head to the 8th at Camden Yards.
Well, when we moved downtown San Diego from Qualcomm to Petco Ballpark, new uniforms were on the way, and this is the Padre home white. This jersey is from 2007, which was a career year for myself, winning a Cy Young. There's some different memories that stand out. One in this uniform against the Braves, where I struck out a Padre record 16, wearing this jersey, trying to make the Padre and the Friar faithful proud.
And 101.5. Orioles baseball is here on WBAL News Radio.
Most fans, Sunday, August 10th, head to the ballpark at 1:35 to cheer on the Orioles against the A's. The first 20,000 fans receive an Orioles corduroy cap presented by DAP. Get your tickets today at Orioles.com/tickets. Orioles ahead 14-3. A lot of defensive changes, and I'll just leave it right there for my old pal, Jeff Arnold. Are you Abbott or are you Costello?
I will be Abbott as Geraldo deals, and the offering is high. 1 ball and no strikes.
I'm hitting the showers in between games.
You're taking it to the house. Please don't take it to the house. You've got a lot of baseball left. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Geraldo, and he delivers a strike into Addison Barger. 1 ball and 1 strike. Barger now playing at third base. While the Orioles will go through some of these defensive changes. 1-1 offering, sprayed to the right field line. Foul ball, says James Jean. Blue Jays, I think, want to take a look just to be safe. But it is called a foul ball by Jean, who is the extra umpire on this crew today. You get an extra umpire when you have a doubleheader, and the Blue Jays want to challenge this. They think that Barger's ball hit the line and should be a fair ball. Barger is in the box, and James Jean will now join Vic Carapazza.
Challenging the foul call.
So you can challenge it down the line. And the call was an emphatic one by James Jean, the first base umpire, who called it foul, but the Blue Jays replay room thinks that it should be a fair ball. So while we have a moment, we will walk through a couple of the changes for you. Jackson Holliday has come on, and he is playing shortstop in place of Gunnar Henderson. And then Tyler O'Neill, he has been replaced in right field by Dylan Carlson. So a couple of changes for the Orioles here. Nice day once again for Tyler O'Neill, who homers in his 4th straight game. First time he's ever done that in his career.
After review, the call on the field stands. It's a foul ball. Toronto loses their challenge.
So nothing definitive for New York, and it means the call of James Jean stands. 1 ball and 2 strikes here against Addison Barger. Open stance left side, looking out at Yeremil Geraldo. 1-2. Up and away with a changeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Geraldo was recalled from today's game. This is his 4th stint with the Orioles this season. 2-2. Fly ball into the left side of the infield. Urias being joined by Holliday, but the third baseman makes the catch as he was positioned out near the hole at shortstop. 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. And Ernie Clement is coming up to the plate. One update. Kate Stroud last night hit George Springer in the head with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It sounds like that Springer is doing better today. The pitch in. Clement. Sails it foul off to the right side, 0-1, but is not. Is Mayo, and he's out of room. As it lands foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Catch. 2 outs now in the 8th inning. And Joey Loperfido stepping up to the plate.
Number 10, Joey Loperfido.
Loperfido with 2 singles and a ground out in this game. He taken up afterwards. Left-hand hitter offering to him is down and in. No strikes. Brent, Joey Loperfido, he's got an athletic family, and his dad was 1-0 smoke down the right field line. This is foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I do not.
His dad is a Centennial.
That's a rugged, tough brand of Division III.
Try to go.
He can flutter that thing behind him.
Kate Povich pitches on rehab today in Norfolk.
Atlanta, around the 4th of July. 2-2 the count. 14-3 Orioles here in the 8th inning. Geraldo works off the first base side. The leg kick and the pitch. Hit in the air, deep right field. Carlson racing back. He's out. And the in right. So Joey Loperfido, a 3-hit effort, and it includes a home run. As Toronto has made it 14-4, down by 10 runs. And Loperfido got that one up in the air, and with the ball carrying today, it managed to escape.
First baseman number 7, Will Wagner.
That'll bring Will Wagner up to the plate as Yaramil Geraldo serves up the home run. First home run that Geraldo has allowed in the major leagues. Pitched to Wagner is fouled off to the left side. 0-1. Charlie Morton, good job today. 6 innings, a 3-run baseball. We'll see if he will be on the move before Thursday, with teams trying to upgrade their rotations and their bullpens and everything else for that matter at the deadline. The 0-1 ground ball over the right side of the mound. Westbrook dives from his knees, throws to first, and it's not in time as Wagner beat it out. Didn't even think Westbrook was going to get to that ball, let alone get a throw off. As he dove in the shallow outfield, and then from his knees he got a throw to first base. But Wagner is safe. A man on with 2 outs, and here's Ali Sanchez.
This copyright broadcast is presented by the authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles.
14-4 your score. Geraldo gets ready to pitch. Here it is. And it's a foul tip in and out of the glove of Jackson. No balls and a strike. Will Wagner, by the way, right before he came to Baltimore, he was at Cooperstown over the weekend, and that's because he is the son of Billy Wagner, who is inducted into the Hall of Fame on Sunday. 0-1. Down with a breaking ball, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And the Blue Jays have this strange tradition of having the sons of very famous, great major league players.
Great major league players who formerly played for the Astros, too. 1-1 fouled off to the right side, 1-2. I mean, they've had Will Wagner. Billy Wagner is known for all those great years he had with Houston. And then previously they had Kevin Biggio. His dad, Craig Biggio's in the Hall of Fame, an all-time great in his own right.
Well, their best player, this guy Guerrero, his father's in the Hall of Fame. Last time I checked.
He is. 1-2. Skied in a short right field. On comes Carlson, makes the catch running in, and the inning is over.
And their shortstop, Bichette, his father, pretty good too.
Yeah, he was part of those Blake Street Bomber Rocky clubs back in the early...
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it, but as a kid that had cards, right, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
to succeed. Visit saveonfuel.net. That's saveonfuel.net for more information.
I'm Tony Thornton. Get traffic updates with me weekday mornings with C4 and Brian Neiman on WBAL News Radio.
98 Rock Night at Oriole Park is Friday, August 8th, when the Orioles take on the Athletics at 7:05. Each ticket will include $15 worth of loaded value. Buy your 98 Rock Night tickets at Orioles.com/98Rock.
Brent, thanks for that. We start the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Orioles are going to face a position player pitcher. It is Ali Sanchez, who is going to be out there. Tyler Heineman comes on to do the catching for Toronto. With this being a doubleheader and the score being what it is, 14-4, from a strategic standpoint, you might as well get ready for game 2 and not throw any more pitchers. So it'll be Cowser facing Ali Sanchez, and this is the second time in this homestand the Orioles have forced the opponent to go to a position player. Orioles did that on Saturday against the Rockies, and Alex Jackson actually hit a home run on the first pitch that he saw. Colton Cowser facing Ali Sanchez, who delivers and misses high. 58 miles an hour into Cowser. 1 ball, no strikes. The next pitch, high pop. Foul territory, first base. Will Wagner is over, runs out of room. 1 ball and 1 strike. And one thing, wonder, as Jackson is on deck, if anyone will take the approach that he took on Saturday, where hit the home run off of Kyle Farmer, is kind of move up in the box as the pitch is coming in. That is clubbed right field by Cowser. Lucas is not able to get this one. It bangs off the bottom part of the groundskeeper's shed. And it is a double for Colton Cowser. Some moves here. 17th Orioles hit of this game, and the second one for Cowser, who has been on base 3 times. So here comes Alex Jackson. And Jackson, he kind of walked up in the box with the pitch being so slow, and then he ended up homering. It was as if he was doing the Happy Gilmore. Though we did hear from our pal Ben McDonald, someone else who did that. That's a strike. 61 there at the top of the zone, Alex Jackson. And Big Ben was saying that whenever Cal Ripken would face a position player offering as high 1-1, that sometimes what he would do is, while the pitch was being thrown, he would walk up in the box, and then that would help him get a hit. 1-1. Outside corner for a strike, 1-2. Most hitters will tell you it's uncomfortable to face a position player pitching, and Alex Jackson does some things a little differently. 1-2 pitch is fouled back. That's the hardest one that Ali Sanchez has thrown, 77 miles an hour. Typically, managers want their position player pitchers to throw as low below the hitting speed as they can, and there's a cut and a miss over a 35-mile-an-hour pitch. Well, that's not fair. You go from 77 to 35, and Alex Jackson took a big cut and a miss and struck out, and all Ali Sanchez can do is laugh. One out now. Here's Jordan Westberg. And Westberg drives it into the gap in left center field. The ball will get down. It will go up against the fence. Cowser's going to round third and score. Make it a double for Jordan Westberg, as Westberg has put together a 4-hit game after he had 3 on his bobblehead night yesterday. 15-4 Orioles. So Cowser hits one off the wall. And then 2 batters later, Jordan Westberg sends one into the alley. Here's Laureano. Outside from Ali Sanchez. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0. Pulled in the air, down the left field line and foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Jeff, you can hit up MLBshop.com for the largest and latest selection of jerseys, caps.
Blooper ball, high. Ball 2.
Jerseys, caps, hoodies, and accessories to keep you in the game all year long.
2-1 offering, driven to right field by Laureano. It's going to hit off the middle portion of the wall. Stop sign goes up for Westburg at third, and Laureano's going to just take a long single as it hit off the middle portion of the wall near the LED board. So a single, Westburg to third, first and third, one out for Jackson Holiday.
By the time Sanchez releases it, I could actually get the full read-in by the time it gets to home plate. But gear up, game on at MLBshop.com, the official online shop of your Baltimore Orioles.
You got to just read it like an auctioneer next time, Brett. Inside, ball one.
I do want to make note of this. The Orioles held up Westburg at third. I'm so sick of hearing that.
1-0 offering, fly ball, left field by Holiday. Low Perfido jogs towards the line. He makes the catch. Westburg is going to tag from third, and he's going to come on down. So the Orioles keep adding on. Sac fly there by Holiday against the position player Sanchez. A 12-run Orioles lead, 16-4. And with that sacrifice fly, that ties a major league record, the 5th sacrifice fly that the Orioles have hit.
And they won't get one more, I don't think, but I do appreciate the Orioles not sending Westburg from second base on a ball off the wall and Laureano staying at first, which would have been a double in any other scenario. I know the pundits will say in games like this, well, stop them. Get them out.
0-1 pitch. Skied foul. Third base side, no balls and 2 strikes. And the Orioles today, Brett, made a little history. First team in Major League history to hit 4 home runs and record 5 sacrifice flies in a game. The 0-2. Blooper ball, ground ball to second base as Carlson hits it right to Leo Jimenez. He throws out Carlson at first, and the inning is over. So it's been a historic day. It's been another day where the Orioles offense has come to play. They have scored 27 combined runs in the first 2 games of this set. They lead Toronto 16-4 as we go to the 9th on the Orioles Radio Network.
Summer's here.
Sometimes artifacts in the collection at the Hall of Fame can tell multiple stories. This is the earliest known Yankees baseball cap in existence. It tells a story of a very early baseball cap and of a guy who just had a cup of coffee in the big leagues. But there's actually a hidden story inside this cap. There's another name written in the cap. So who's Dolan?
The name of the business is Legacy Catering. We all were talking about how Mom taught us all how to cook. She was a cook at the public school system for ages. So we all started to cook with her, so we decided, to do the business, so we went to figure out what we're going to call it. So we said, let's cook in honor of, our mother. So that's what Legacy came in. And just remember that Legacy Catering is about people. And this is what barbecuing is all about, and this is why we love it.
Today's game with C4 and Brian Neiman on WBAL News Radio.
Back here at Oriole Park, where the Orioles add 2 more against Ali Sanchez, the position player pitcher for Toronto. So the Orioles, their lead is 16-4 over the Blue Jays. Remember, they won the 18-0 game against Colorado on Saturday night. Here's Nathan Lucas, and Yaramil Geraldo delivers a strike over the outside, 0-1. Geraldo to try and finish this one off. And the nice thing is for the Orioles, their bullpen is in great shape going into game 2. 0-1 offering. Hit on the ground, out to the shortstop, Holiday. He is behind second, throws to first. Lucas is out. We know that Brennan Young is going to be involved in some way, shape, or form. He will either start the game or he will pitch in bulk innings. So we know that's going to be the case for game 2. And then Toronto, they're scheduled to start Eric Lauer, a left-hander. So this is Tyler Heineman, who was on the catch. It's a strike taken in the middle, 0-1. Heineman came on the catch with Ali Sanchez going into pitch, 0-1. Popped up, coming back towards us, and it's going to be off to our left. No balls and 2 strikes. And Eric Lauer was the one who was involved in that funny story that Max Scherzer was the reason he had 6 stitches on his lip. The 0-2, a swing and a miss for strike 3. And the real story was, and Scherzer came clean with this, but Eric Lauer wanted to make it seem like he bothered Max Scherzer during one of his start days, and he's named Mad Max for a reason. And his teammate Chris Bassett said we should come up with some kind of a story about it. The story that Lauer sold to the media, Geraldo delivers, and it's fouled off to the right by Straw, 0-1, was let's make it seem like you interrupted Max while he was preparing for his start and he hit you in the mouth. And Lauer sold it, but then Max Scherzer set the record straight. But still really funny stuff. 0-1 is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. As Scherzer was saying that for Eric Lauer, big thing he was wondering was he going to be able to sell the story with a straight face to the media? 1-1. Pulled out to third, caught by Urias going to his left. Book it for the Birds. Another big showing by the Orioles offense. They win this one by a final score of 16-4 against Toronto. 16 runs for the Orioles on 19 hits. They get 4 home runs. O'Neill and Henderson each driving 4 apiece. The Orioles become the first team in Major League history to hit 4 home runs and 5 sacrifice flies in a game, with a 5 sac flies tying a Major League record. 16-4. Orioles take down Toronto. We will come back with a recap next on the Orioles Radio Network.
98 Rock Night returns to Camden Yards on August 8th.
Meet and greet the 98 Rock Air staff, and you could score yourself a t-shirt or other 98 Rock swag.
You may even see a familiar face take over as guest splasher, plus more surprises.
Each ticket comes with $15 in loaded value, usable on food, drinks, and even the team store.
Plus, there's post-game fireworks, so come see your Baltimore Orioles take on the Athletics.
For tickets and all the details, head over to Orioles.com/98Rock.
Whether it's your first time betting or you've been gambling for years, have a plan and know the game. Be aware of the rules and odds before you gamble. Set a budget and never gamble with money you can't afford to lose. Take a break and consider teaming up with trusted friends to help you stick to your budget. Remember, if you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org for free confidential services.
This could be the most important pitch of this youngster's life. He looks at his friend across the bar, goes into his stretch, and tosses his keys. Perfect pitch.
Yeah, great call. He knew drinking and driving didn't mix, so he went to the designated sober driver.
Wherever you
As someone who grew up in the era of the twist, the locomotion, the Freddy, and other outrageous dances, the floss is easily the worst of all time.
The fan did touch that ball, and that's a big whoops. Any relation to Grant? I don't know. That guy was having a hard time figuring out what screen he was supposed to be looking at.
What a play! Alan Roden. And hopefully he is all right.
Look at it's his eye black. That's his eye black. It has been transferred from face to wall.